That one single page.
Is that panel original?
Yeah, I would imagine so.
That's worth like $1 million.
Now, is that Furman doing the writing on that page, or that's somebody
Yes.
else?
And,
Somebody created Death's Head, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yes. And Brian Hitch on the art,
Oh, that's
who
cool.
is apparently extremely young at the time.
Yeah.
Oh, most of them were. Most of those dudes were at that time, apart from, was it Mike Collins? I mean, yeah. It's a couple of the old reliable guys, and then you had a bunch of budding new artists that sort of cut their teeth on those strips. So, yeah, there's Liam Sharp is another one. He's the guy who drew Death's Head 2, which, as we all know, is
Don's
favorite thing.
Yes.
And that guy went on to be like
Where's
one
the
of
lead?
Wonder Woman's
I
most
loved in middle school. I loved Death's Head 2. It was the most amazing thing.
Dude, I've still got the issues in the back here.
Yeah, same. Like literally in one of these long boxes behind me.
It was
then
it was something that people passed around, like, you know, kids in a prior generation might have passed around a pornography to like show like it's like, look at this. It's like, you can't believe what this shows. And oh my God, he's killing Reed Richards. This is amazing. What is this?
oh my God, it was so edgy. It was so edgy. And this is my my kid video record.
Oh, that is it Hebrew?
Yes, it's in Hebrew because it was only released in Israel because Haim Saban.
Oh,
Brian, did you buy that Israel Hebrew version of?
I did not buy Rebirth.
That was beautiful.
Let me see if it's still up there.
The only thing I've got signed is I've got Andrew Wildman and Simon Furman signed my copy of issue 79, The Last Autobot. And I had Jim Amesh, who was the inker on Generation 2, sign a couple of my copies because he was running Acme Comics in Greensboro.
Awesome. That's amazing.
The only comic I've ever had signed was my RC comic from the Thrilling 30 line by Dawn.
That voice is familiar. I haven't heard that voice in a while.
Hello.
Hey,
All
so
right.
Eric C. Now, who could that
yeah,
be?
so okay, so like I said, I'm not making a big deal of the live stream. It used to be like super professional-ish production. But like, we're just here to BS about toys and talk about news as it happens, and you know, catch up with friends and stuff like that. So, I guess technically I should welcome everybody to the live stream. Hey, everybody.
Everybody.
Hello.
I did bring a special treat in honor of being on the RFC live stream.
Excellent.
They had cheer wine at the grocery store, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get some of that to drink.
I also brought some root beer.
Nice.
I don't have any of that, but I do have some Pepsi strawberries and cream.
And then this is espresso shots. So
Oh, and a Yeti
I
tumbler.
apologize.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would have gotten some cheerwine, but I have to have diet cheerwine, and you can't find it anywhere up here.
Well, because it doesn't exist. It's called Cheerwine Zero.
I mean, there's none of that up here.
I'm just being a pedant.
There was a shelf tag for it at the grocery store, but they were sold out.
Get ready to
So-
discuss Brian.
I mean,
Sorry,
I was
introductions.
out-
I derailed things.
I was just gonna say first though, Tommy, I went out to get some food before the stream, and one of my stops, I saw for the first time RC cola in berries and cream flavor, and I picked that up. So it's like no, I knew that would make
Ooh.
Brian's face twist even more, but like that was a new one for me. I had to try it. Don't care for it that much. It's not gross, but like it doesn't. The flavors that it's saying don't really come through. There's like a tiny bit of raspberry to it, but the RC flavor is mostly running over whatever else is in it. It's not like having a cherry RC, which is the best cola ever devised by man.
So whenever I go to a fast food establishment like a Nando's or a Burger King, and they got those sort of like soda machines that have like multiple different flavors, I will always see if there is an option for vanilla and cherries, and I always make a little concoction out of the pair of them.
Yeah,
Nice.
sure. With the right base flavor, that's actually a really good. Like there is a few gas stations here have something a really much lower end version of that kind of setup. You know, it's a normal soda fountain, but there's also nozzles on there for flavor syrup that you can add to the soda
Quick Trip
afterward.
does that.
Yeah, and like I will frequently make vanilla cherry Dr. Pepper is not one of their default options, but I can make that in that, and I do that sometimes when I'm shopping
Jeremy.
one of those places.
So has anyone noticed that Coke's like special flavor for this year is orange cream, which
It's
they
gross.
did already? I
We
love
can't-
it. I think it's objectively correct, but they did it already as orange vanilla. It's just orange vanilla again.
Sorry. So Jeremy, you used the RE320, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so. I remember you had that.
Yeah.
I remember making an orange Coke at a Coke freestyle machine once, and I thought it tasted like toothpaste.
No, orange vanilla is objectively the correct use of the freestyle machine.
I mean, I don't.
Cherry vanilla is a runner-up.
I'll do cherry zero Powerade in Coke Freestyle or Fanta Cherry Zero. That's about the extent of it.
So, welcome everybody to the Get the Skinny Toy Fair edition live stream.
Yeah. Hey, so do we have any spoilers yet? So Cyber World, that was unveiled.
Yeah.
I
we
love
have
it.
all that.
I love it.
Do you know what? I agree with you. It's not for me, but then again, sorry to be that party pooper, but most Transformers really isn't these days with me.
Just kick you out,
But
then.
no. I've been led. I'll tell you what. The last time I did one of these, I was a very grumpy Matty. I will admit, but I've softened a little bit. I went back to my first Transformers con in like I think 7-8 years last year in Reading, and I had a really really good time. I'm going back to TF Nation later this year, so I'm enjoying Transformers again. But I can also step back and appreciate the fact that some of these toys, or let's call most of these toys, aren't necessarily for me, but I can absolutely appreciate that it will be somebody's. And those Transformers, Brian, see, I'm a professional. I can segue back to the topic in hand. Is they look like fantastic, like first time toys for kids. And I love that.
Scorponok. That Scorponok playset is heaven.
Yeah.
Looks really nice.
Do have some really interesting ideas they're bringing in with like the Bull Megatron and Mirage as a jet. And
I want Street Bite.
Yeah.
I'm more of a
Street Bite.
fiction person than a toy person, and I'm not feeling particularly whelmed by the what we're hearing about the fiction for it so far.
Yeah, I like 10 years ago, I flipped on the toy versus fiction thing. I think it's easier for me to buy toys than it is to consume fiction. Like you hit a certain age and you just don't have time, and that's where I'm at. So I love how cats show their bottoms when they love you.
She does. She hates people, but she's decided that I'm not really people. So
I mean, I can associate with cats. I mean, I like to show my bottom to my wife to show that I love her as well. So that's, it's across the board, really.
Yeah, that's the healthy marriage.
Yeah, that is a healthy marriage. I love the Grimlock. The dino hand's a little weird, but like it's very Beast Wars Megatron, of course.
I was gonna say I'm just waiting for like 4 or 5 waves down that to be released in purple as a Megatron.
Mm-hmm.
I do love that we're getting some G2 Megatron color love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if
what's
it
that
still
a
doesn't
retool
have
of?
It's
Like a Cyberverse one-step
Hounds?
changer.
Hound.
The last night,
it's
Hound,
like a
yeah.
movie hound.
Movie Hound.
Like
that's
a
it.
movie hound.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Scorponok reminds me of that Optimus Prime we got a decade ago.
Which
That
one?
was like the framework Optimus.
Oh, the
and-
Optimus Maximus for the
Yeah.
Prime Cyberverse
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
that's the vibe I got from seeing it. I love the colors. I wish he just was a little more complicated, but I get why it's not. But it's G2 Scorponok pretty much.
I always said that Optimus Maximus should have been like just lightly retooled and re-released as a Metroplex for the Prime Cyberverse stuff.
It kind of reminds me more of like a transforming Action Master Scorponok.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's just an extremely basic, like
Yeah.
the Omega Supreme double punch era
Yeah.
of Action Master.
And
Absolutely.
Megatron is chunky.
He's a chunky boy.
Yeah, he is a chunky boy.
I can't complain about any line where we get another Skybite, even if it's
Yeah.
like got wheels. But I mean, he's Skybite.
Okay, so no, but remember there
That's
was the
so
one
accurate.
Yeah, there was the one episode of the cartoon, Skidsy's Choice, where everybody was in the race, including the trains, which made no sense, but that was Robots in Disguise 2001. We just ignore that part. But Skybite
God,
was
that
disguised as a
show.
car.
Right. I've
Take
forgotten that.
back.
Look, I love Robots in Disguise
Yeah.
2001, but because I love it, I can look at it and say, this is stupid as heck. But
But it was
that's
fun.
fine.
But we say it with love.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the most boring figure is the Bumblebee. It's like
Well, welcome to Bumblebees.
Yeah, welcome to Bumblebee.
Bumblebee
that's
Land.
true. I mean, they're simple, but I like the Megatron and the Mirage is a jet, and then whoever the dinosaur is, the red dinosaur with the yellow shoulder, and the bull. What was that? Megatron?
Yeah, Mega Bowl.
Yeah.
Mega Bull. Okay. Yeah, it's fun little things,
I mean, I think it's clearly for like the under 8 age group, and especially with the 5-minute YouTube.
The
stuff that's gonna come
45,
with it.
45 plus age group as well.
Okay. Well, I'm talking about what they promote as the target
Yeah.
audience. But I feel like this is perfect for, like someone said, just someone getting into Transformers as a kid, like the hook. And as long as this isn't the entire line for 2025 for everything, it's fine.
Right.
It's the replacement for whatever the kids line was.
Earthspark.
Yeah.
And
But I'll be
think-
honest,
Yeah,
Earthspark.
Earthspark had a show that was good and written, like with scripts.
Earthspark surprised me as far as how good it's like Nightshade. You would ever try to convince me that you could make Nightshade into an actual 3D existing toy and it worked that well, being
Their
an
toy is
owl.
good.
That's a really good, like, that's, I look at the Nightshade toy and it's like, oh, this is a Beast Machines toy that they lost in 2000 and they found it and released it now. Like, that's how it feels to me. I love that toy for that.
So I'm looking through Blue Sky because I deleted Twitter. I'm looking through Blue Sky for
Good.
toys or stuff from Toy Fair. I think the first group is probably going through at 5:30. I know that Diecast and Miguel go through at 6:30, but Spider Father on Blue Sky is posting pictures of like deformation knockoff Transformers, which I swore for a second was from Toy Fair.
Ah, King Warrior Mech, yeah.
Yeah.
That hot new property.
I would love that.
Well, that Starscream for $10 is a really good deal. Someone needs to snatch that up.
It's probably 10 pounds.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean,
Yeah.
I mean, at
yeah,
the
so-
exchange rate now, that's still not far off, I don't
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Can I
Okay.
do a
I
quick?
thought I thought they misspelled TJ Maxx. Is what I thought they did. Because they said TK Maxx, and I thought they just misspelled TJ Maxx, which is here in the States.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, TK Maxx is it's a brand, a branch over in the UK. They do very, very cheap things. So people that have a budget tend to go there for like furnishings.
Oh my
clothing,
God,
and all that
Popples.
stuff. And yeah,
Popples.
they do have a brand of Transformers. Sometimes they're knockoffs, but sometimes it's like ex shop clearance stuff
Yeah.
that they couldn't
Hey,
flog in other
Gem.
shops. Just find their
There's
way in
Gem.
TK Maxx.
Is there
Yes.
more than just the
Gem.
one gem? Because I saw
Yeah.
the one gem doll, and I don't know.
I see three dolls right here.
Okay,
there's
I need
Ah, there we go.
Popples.
Who is posting this?
Fake eyes.
Okay,
Oh,
on Blue
David.
Sky.
Yeah. My Pet Monster.
Ah, you can't go wrong with a bit of My Pet Monster.
The Popples, though. Like, this is like the third time they've brought Popples back, and these actually look right.
Oh, it's glitter and gold gem.
Yeah, I mean, I just want Jim. I don't plan on collecting the whole line,
Mm.
but a friend of mine, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, worked at the Toys R Us beside of where I worked. His wife had all the Jim dolls at the time. He took all the cassettes and burned them to a CD for me, and I found that the other day. So I have all the Jim cassettes on a CD.
I would like some of that. I have I found, so not to say that my parents are functional hoarders, but I found a tape, a cassette tape in one of their junk drawers that was a mail away for a gem promotion from like
that's amazing.
1987, and we had moved like 5 times. This is not just in the junk drawer that I had left it in when I was 10 years old. This had been through several houses and ended up in their junk drawer. And I've got a that may be in my cassette player downstairs, but I would have to get my poor boy Benjamin off my lap to go get that. But yeah, it's like Gem World Tour or something. You can find it on eBay. But yeah, that was a fun find.
I remember that. I remember that send-off promo.
There you go. I have that tape. I currently know more or less where that tape is located, which is pretty good after.
I think we talked about this before. I'm pretty sure we did. But like, I'm looking at photos that Paternia posted of the Masters of the Universe Cross Thundercats line.
I was looking at that.
Oh yeah.
And it's literally the most boring thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
I'm
I
just gonna.
I want the Battle Cat.
The Battle
I
Cat's
want-
awesome.
I want the Battle
Yeah.
Cat.
Yeah, the Battle Cat's neat.
Just a quick shout out to the chat in Twitch, because the people on it are all friends of mine from other communities. So hello for Flowney and hello Sean. For Flowney's made a point out to say that TK Maxx and TJ Maxx are owned by the same company. Who can funked it, everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I got a question for you.
Hey, real quick. People out there, tfradio.net/Discord, if you want to join everybody, like in one location, that's the
our
preferred
official
way
chat.
Yeah, like that's the preferred place to chat. tfradio.net/Discord. It's a fun place to be.
I'm
So
just
we're
want to
not
ask.
clicking between a bunch of different.
I shall
Different things.
get it.
Sometimes I got a question. Sometimes Thew mentions Poundland. Is it better or worse than them with some of the knockoffs he's gotten at Poundland?
What? Sorry, I was multitasking. Go on, Don.
I'm sorry. No. Sometimes Thew has mentioned finding knockoffs at Poundland. Is
True.
that TK Maxx better or worse than this Poundland place?
Poundland is literally a place when, if you want the real crappiest knockoffs, Don, and I'm saying deep down the worst, that's where you go, is to Poundland. Because ironically, Don, do you know what most items are sold under in Poundland? What value of currency do you think they're sold in, Don?
I assume this is the equivalent of America's Dollar Tree.
Got it in one, Trickster, except most of their items are now for £2.
Yeah.
So
our
it's
Dollar
false
Tree isn't a
advertisement.
dollar anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dollar Tree is now a $1.25 tree.
And a lot of Dollar Trees are shutting down in favor of being Family Dollars because they're the same company now. And
also
okay.
Pop Smart. They're
that's Dollar General.
that's Dollar General.
John.
yeah, I know
Dollar
it's not.
General.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like that. It's like
Eventually, they'll all be one.
it's like a knockoff.
Still all
It's like a
one.
knockoff Five Below. The Pop-
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still just all the same stuff you find in a Dollar General. It's like
Yeah.
it's weird and kind of dumb.
So I really like the Fright Zone from Origins. I need to get that.
I will probably
Masters of the
get
Universe.
these. I'll probably get these gem dolls if I can get over how much smaller their heads are than the. Like, if once I can accept that they're not actually reproductions, then I guess it'll be okay.
Trickster, if you want small heads on large bodies, just you wait until we start talking about Power Rangers.
Oh no!
You know,
No.
I saw those pictures and my heart went out to XV and Matt. I mean, it's like,
Well, okay, so like,
There's only one Power Ranger I care about, and she's dead.
oh,
Yellow
I had
Ranger.
the biggest crush on the Yellow Ranger in high school.
I think most people did.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
he
and
was
that's
the hottest.
definitely one of those coded things, like how much I really like Tasha Yar.
Yeah.
well, you had Tasha and you had Deanna, so I mean, you didn't have a lot to choose from, unless there
No.
was a
Beverly was
Beverly.
there.
Beverly, that's right, Beverly.
I mean, you could be attracted to men, but why?
Well, at least it wasn't Pulaski.
Don, you had a crush on Pulaski. You know that.
Oh, please, I hated Pulaski.
I'm pretty
Season
sure
2
Pul-
would have been infinitely better if it hadn't been for Pulaski.
I'm pretty sure Pulaski is younger than I am now in season two.
Probably.
For
Well,
sure.
no.
When she was Dr. Pulaski, it was 1988 when
Yeah.
her episodes came out, and that was like literally just less
She-
than 20 years prior
might have-
to.
Probably early 50s.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
20 odd years after she did her first Star Trek episode. I just watched that
Oh
episode.
yeah,
actually.
that's right.
I
Yeah,
watched
she
it
was
last
in-
week.
2 different original series episodes. She was probably in her early 50s when she played Pulaski.
Yeah, that's right. I'd forgotten that she was in the original series.
She was
Oh,
born
twice.
in August 1938, so she was exactly 50.
Oh, cool.
She played one of Kirk's many different girlfriends in the first original series. The pair of them got possessed by floating intangible
Right.
beings that were encased in orbs. I just watched that episode this week, in fact. So, but
And
yeah,
then
that
she
was,
came back as a different character and was the foil to Spock in that episode.
but was still a doctor though. So she played 2 different doctors before playing another doctor. So she's played 3 doctors in Star Trek.
Imagine being so typecast.
Maybe
In
that's
Star
why she didn't want to be a regular character.
Now, I will say, I do want the Battle Cat, but some of the Masterverse stuff, like this new Terror Claw Skeletor, looks
Don't care.
good, and I like that new She-Ra.
I don't like the She-Ra. I don't like Masterverse. And how have we not talked about Don?
Yes.
What happened yesterday?
I was
Oh.
waiting for an opportunity to bring this up.
Well, I was waiting. I'm just following Brian's lead here. I didn't want to jump.
We're
ahead
not.
or
There's
anything.
nobody. I'm not leading this. We're just.
Okay, so-
we're just
so-
like going back and forth, Chris.
So
Yeah,
So
so this is not actually Toy Fair material, but it's of utmost importance. Don, did you see the missing link stock photos that came out yesterday?
As a matter of fact, before everybody told me that they existed, which to everyone that made sure
Oh,
I
the
saw
pennies
it,
dropped.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I saw them. They look absolutely gorgeous.
Now,
that-
Don, would you say that RC has fires that just won't quit?
It has everything that won't quit because it's literally they reached it. Some kind of weird page master crap where you
Done.
reach in the thing and pull it out.
Don, was I the first person to tell you about Headmaster RC?
I think you were.
I'm pretty sure it was. So I didn't know. I was not the first person to tell you about this, but I was the first person to tell you about Headmaster RC and Hooper
Yes.
X about Big Daddy. So
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just an incredible proof of concept brought to life that they actually made that design go from a wooden stack of boxes to actually transforming.
I don't think I like the head on the anime version so much. It looks, I don't know, a little off to me, but maybe a
Because
high-res
it doesn't look like the cartoon, which is what the colors are trying to sell you on.
Yeah.
Like I think that's where the disconnect is. The prototype colors looks perfect, like Don says. Like they really did just realize that out of the old magazine pages and I guess the wood model that they have in their archives. Like it's amazing that they did this to start with and that they pulled it off and didn't have to compromise anything of that original design to do it, as far as the pictures are indicating anyway. I was thinking about this in the car this afternoon. Like, it's this really weird thing because not only are we getting the missing link of the RC that would have come out in 1987 or whatever, but we're also kind of getting the missing link of if that toy had come out in 1987 and then it had been part of the commemorative series in the early 2000s, because they would have released the
Ooh.
original colors and then they would have through
Yeah.
eHobby or whatever done a cartoon colors version of that with no mold changes probably. But like we're getting not only the toy we would have gotten then, but we're getting the equivalent of its reissue special variant. Like it's the most missing link thing Missing Link has done so far. Like it's amazing what this line is, and seeing this come to fruition, there's just so much possibility that rolls through your head, and just like I want this to last forever. Like I want them to get to Missing Link Chrome Dome, because then we can get them to do the magazine concept art piece we saw that one time of the Headmaster RC recolored from Chrome Dome.
Yeah. It's just amazing how they were the engineering to actually pull this off the page and make it work and make it look like this. I'm getting 4 right now, depending on the price.
I
I'm
think I am
thinking about
too.
getting 4.
I think I am too.
I just got my first Missing Link figure. I got the Optimus with trailer, and I was just blown away. I wasn't like I had the Legacy, G1 Universe Optimus, and I'm like, well, this is obviously going to be better than the Missing Link one. Forgetting I had pre-ordered the Missing Link one, and then when that came in, I'm like, it's night and day. The Missing Link one just feels so good, and just it was so smart about how they added the new joints and everything. So I'm looking forward to seeing RC.
It's maybe my favorite Transformer ever.
Yeah, I can't justify the Bumblebee and Cliffjumper. That's just too expensive for too little plastic.
I mean, yeah, when you consider the fact that they retooled that Bumblebee from, I presume, original Bumblebee, and remember how tiny that is.
It's from scratch, I'm certain. I doubt.
But I'll just stand back and await to be impressed by the inevitable Missing Link Ultra Magnus.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm super interested in what they will end up doing with that, because they will try it. They will try to do that. As for me, I'm planning to just pre-order the prototype colors RC, because that's the one that's the most in the spirit of what Missing Link is.
Yeah.
If the cartoon colors one comes along at a decent price later on for me, like, sure, I will double dip on that. It looks really cool. The cartoon colors work really well on that, aside from the the head not being cartoon accurate, like Brian was talking about. But like, both of them look really, really good. But no, I only really feel like I need one. I'm not done.
I somewhat disagree. I think it's in the spirit of what they're trying to achieve with those toys, in that what you're effectively getting is like pretty much what would have been the G1 toy, but in a separate, she's got a different hat, and that hat is a different color scheme. So for what it is, it's exactly what it is. Like, if you want, we basically had a fully cartoon accurate RC, and she was pretty much a shell former. So the fact you're getting this, and it's, for the most part, it looks like she actually properly transforms and isn't just carrying back kibble. That's crazy.
Absolutely.
So I'm assuming that the first group is going to start at 5:30. It could be 6, but we're probably 30-ish minutes from starting to get news. Like, do we have any conjecture as to what we expect to see? Almost certainly it'll be something that's already been leaked from a listing perspective at the very least. But like, what timing wise should we expect to see?
Well,
I know Jen's waiting to see her brilliant child and her stupid child.
I need to see my dumb boys. Okay, it is the smartest boy and the dumbest boy. Look, every time I rewatch War Dawn, I'm just struck by Fireflight's inability to understand time travel. Because Megatron shows up and he's like, "Oh no, Megatron!" And I believe it's Skydive is like, he doesn't know who we are, and Fireflight's like, how can he not know who we are? Like, we're in the past, we haven't been built yet, and Fireflight is literally like, huh? Like, just little questions.
They were literally like built just like a couple of episodes before that.
Yeah, they're like 3 weeks old. Megatron doesn't know who they are then.
So dumb.
Yeah.
But also specifically that Fireflight cannot understand this concept, is like completely not penetrating his head. Anyway, I am excited to see the last two of my boys, my sons.
Yeah, I think
anything else is just anything else is bonuses.
I figure we have to see the rest of the aerial bots. Devastator will be there.
Yeah, probably the first full color Devastator, huh?
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll see the Omega Prime prototype again. Yet we're still all waiting for them to actually ship it. I'm a little pissed that they are already hyping the next HasLab when we haven't gotten the previous one.
I'm used to that. I think that's fine, but like, yeah,
they kind of have to.
Yeah,
but it was just. It seems like it's been an incredibly long time for this particular one.
It feels like it. Star Convoy will be there.
Yeah.
Ooh, right.
I'm just trying to figure out when they're going to drop the Visionaries reveal, because if they do it,
that would be loyal subjects, Don. You need to start.
I
mean, reach out to Ben Montano on LinkedIn.
We need more of these folks.
Oh,
granites.
So I've got a friend who recently live reaction streamed the entirety of Visionaries, and
Yes.
let's say we made a few fans of Mordred and Darkstorm, and it's become a whole meme with him to the point where he's got like Mordred type like memes up the wazoo as in jokes in his streams now. But I've been trying to get him to get into Inhumanoids, and he just won't do it.
That's where I was going to go. Like, I'm all into Inhumanoids. I don't remember a thing about Visionaries. So do I need to go back and like delve into that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, is the word. Yes.
Okay.
You might recognize a few of the voice actors.
I would imagine so. Is the 80s.
So the two series, I'm going to say something that might get me canceled. I feel like with the Transformers and G.I. Joe dichotomy, G.I. Joe is almost always objectively better fiction, but it's boring because it's just about people.
Fair.
Whereas Transformers is maybe not as objectively good, but it's way more interesting because it's about robots. So Inhumanoids is way more interesting because it's about monsters, but Visionaries is the objectively better series.
Trickster.
Okay.
Trickster. The real monsters in the Inhumanoids are the Earth Core, because the Earth Core are all massive douches.
You're sweet. It's okay. No, to be fair, it's mostly just everyone teaming up on Augur and him fighting back. But yeah, they're all just
okay.
He
no
would
team
make
dynamic.
Brian cry by breaking his TV with his shoe.
So I love this. The AI overview on Google just gave me this. I searched Visionaries, and it gives me a photo of the Visionaries comic, and it says examples of Visionaries: Martin Luther King Jr., World Vision supporters. I'm like, it's
that's a whole different show.
Yeah, but
that's like Visionaries meets Pro Stars.
I have one name for you that will sell
too.
you on watching Visionaries, and that name is Jonathan Harris.
Oh, yes.
Jonathan Harris.
Yeah, he does one of the wizards, right?
He was Merklin. He was the main Merklin, who also wasn't a good guy. He wasn't
Roscoe
a bad guy.
Lee Brown. Roscoe Lee Brown is Merklin.
Yeah.
Jonathan Harris is Mordred.
Oh, he's actual Mordred. Oh, dear. Oh, my. No. Oh, dear. Oh, my. Mighty Darkstorm?
Is this available to stream somewhere?
Yes.
No.
Yes. I have uploads that I have posted to YouTube.
Okay.
I think Brian meant legally, Trickster.
That's legal.
They're on YouTube. Okay, so let me tell you a story. Inhumanoids and Visionaries were both only released on DVD in the UK as a full series. I have them thanks to the magic of ebay.co.uk. Also, because by the magic of region hacking my DVD-ROM drive, I managed to rip Inhumanoids, and I started to upload them to YouTube a couple years ago, and Hasbro was just like, no, absolutely not. And I just left it sitting there in the queue, and then a month later, it got pushed out. It got made public with no monetization. So Hasbro blocked the monetization, but someone actively decided to let those get published. And I almost, the thing that worries me about that is I wonder if that's an acknowledgement that they don't have masters for it anymore. Or...
I would actually say it could be that, Trickster, or it could be the fact that on the slide they're trying to say, well, we're not going to upload them. But maybe, just maybe, let's have a little bit of engagement of will these videos get any hits, likes, and all that. Yeah. And if it's a case of
free market research.
That's exactly right, Don.
But if they're not going, I mean, it's not, I mean, I put effort into uploading them as a hobby, but if they've got someone whose job is to go through like Transformers Prime and get that uploaded, I worry that they didn't have any better versions that they could have uploaded to their official channel. But at the same time that I uploaded those Inhumanoids episodes and those went live, someone else uploaded Visionaries. So those are both up on YouTube legally, but Hasbro blocks monetization.
It could just be like it's not worth their time paying someone to do it, and it's already up there for free. Because you did it.
Is this a person who posted Visionaries. Is it Orbital Bacon? Is that their name?
No, I think
No.
it's Danny Caught TV.
Danny Caught. Okay, I saw that as well. Okay.
Yeah. I did go through and process some AI upscales of both series to varying results because I am working on an M1 MacBook Air. So, but there are, if you look up AI upscale, you can get some that look a little better than the like PAL DVD rips. But the PAL DVD rips are also up there.
I'll tell you how much I love Visionaries watching it. I would take my handheld tape recorder when the episodes aired, and I would record the entire episodes on audio tape because I had no VCR at the time. I then later on had a double cassette deck. So I would make mixtapes of all the Visionaries and all the spell poems and have that as just a mixtape. I know all the poems. I know all of them.
I used to do that with the Gem songs. I used to record the Gem songs when they came on with like my parents' big brick of a tape recorder.
Yeah.
So the thing that I love the most about both Inhumanoids and Visionaries is there's no clear delineation of like the bad guys being necessarily full out evil, and the good guys being absolutely like saints. Because, like I said again, Earthcore are a bunch of dicks when you think about it. But then there's also nice Inhumanoids as well.
Stay real quick. I'm going to change gears. In the Discord, some photos were posted of the nacelle Star Trek figures.
The face sculpt looks so good.
Don, Captain Rachel Garrett.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I haven't looked at those yet. Do what?
Yeah, the Captain
Which
of Enterprise
channel
C.
is this in?
It's the normal, the main
Okay.
channel.
All right. Okay.
There's a Tuvix.
Yes.
There's a Jellicoe.
Okay, everybody, hashtag Tuvix for Brian.
Yeah.
You sent me Cheetos, you get Tuvix.
I'll take Tuvix. I love Tuvix. He was murdered.
Okay, I need to burn Jellicoe in a fiery pit.
So Scotty's nephew is got a figure now.
Well,
Captain Sulu.
I never realized
With
until
a
today
teacup.
that I wanted an action figure of the Genesis device.
I want an
Yeah,
action
no,
figure of the Genesis device.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
I will get Rachel Garrett. I will get Rachel Garrett. Yeah, and I will get a Jellicoe to burn just for my own satisfaction.
So Matt Guzzi just posted on Blue Sky some photos of what's labeled as Transformers cross Hot Wheels collab.
Okay.
I'll just hold out hope for that Diane Muldaur triple pack box set.
Okay.
And then you can have
That
all
would be a
three
great
Doctors.
idea, though. Like, seriously, I'd be down for that. That'd be a funny format to do that in.
And then what you should do, just to make it really funny, you start releasing action figures based on LA lore, and you can have a Diane Muldaur action figure down the bottom of a lift shaft.
Whoa. Whoa. Transformers. That doesn't look like Mattel designed that. At least that one. Did they?
Holy crap! These look good.
These are bigger toys. These have to be Hasbro designed.
So
Based on Hot Wheels cars.
Yeah, this is
Are
the
these-
Hasbro side of that collab.
Yeah.
Are these?
Oh, that hot rod, that's Super Cooper. I don't care what you
yeah,
say.
yeah.
The
Oh my
paint job
goodness.
is fantastic.
These all G2s. I remember these toys.
Yeah, the laser
Wow.
rods.
Yeah.
But no, that's like
awesome.
Super Cooper, the GoBot, Super GoBot, the first one.
Yeah. They all got repurposed for G2, didn't they?
Okay, now they need to do High Beam, the G2 GoBot, who was actually like low key based on a Hot Wheels car.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really buy Transformers all that much anymore. I bought 2 Blockies a couple of weeks ago. That was the height of my Transformers.
Here that's
buy.
going around.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I would buy that one with the skull in its chest in a heartbeat.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So somebody in the Discord is saying that the blue one's called Twin Mill and the black one is Bone Shaker.
Hey, I'll buy it.
Let's hope they're
the sparkly paint on the blue one, like they use on the actual Hot Wheel cars. I just can't get past it. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hope these are actually easier to get than the Optimus Prime was. If I had wanted it.
Hey,
I mean,
Melvar has it.
These are probably going to be released by Hasbro, so like I assume it's not going to be through Mattel Creations nonsense.
I've only seen the gold Bumblebee in stores, and I haven't seen any other.
I saw a handful of blockies at my local Walmart, then nothing else since then.
I never saw them at Walmart. I did have my magical blind box abilities at TFCon Baltimore got me a Tarn just out of just picking the one that had
cool.
the right vibes, and I fully, I bought him and turned to my friends and like, so which Constructicon is going to be in this box? But it was the one I was trying to get. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, my comic shop has them now.
So, in an act that will get you all very, very jealous, over in Battersea in London, a couple of weeks ago, I went there. There's a specialist Hasbro Transformers shop purely for Transformers merch. And amongst the other things was an entire section devoted to blockies. And I finally went and bought a couple. One lights up. He's based on Sunstorm. And then the other one was a grapple. But I can see how people can absolutely buy loads because they're simple to build. And you end up with nice little cute little figures at the end of it. I will say, for a little bit of a complaint, that is very samey when you look at the actual shells of them after a while.
This is going to be a little fringe for some of y'all, but Vangelis reported on Blue Sky, Metal Cardbot is at Toy Fair, which means one of the biggest Korean-based transforming toy lines could be coming over. You want like the chunk of Power Rangers with like Brave, like that Brave clunk.
Mm-hmm.
That's Metal Cardbot. It's like Tobot.
Yeah.
And if it's at Toy Fair, oh my gosh, that's going to be an entire new line of figures.
Does anybody know who owns the license for that?
All I know is I had talked to Vangelis briefly about this at one point. At one of the BotCons or something like that, and maybe a TFCon, and he said it would be so hard to get them over here because of the price, because there's so much plastic and there's so much material in those figures. It would cost a fortune to bring them over. I don't know how they're doing it, but that's big if you want some of these Korean lines, because importing them are incredible. Because they're so heavy, it's sort of like Korean box Brave stuff.
I mean, I would imagine if they're being brought to Toy Fair, it's one of two things: they're either trying to sell it, sub-license it,
right,
or a company has already purchased the sub-license and is starting to showcase it.
Yeah.
In which case, I wouldn't imagine it would be 100% the toy that you got from Korea. It could well be a repurposed and retooled version of those.
It could be like what we got from what Bandai America was doing versus Bandai Japan, and making their own Zords that were not as, decent or good. But I'm still excited because some of those toys are very good. I've been tempted to pull the trigger, but when the shipping is more than the figure,
it's not worth it.
It's not worth it. But I just wanted to mention that.
Could be like what we got with Transformers in the 80s, where they licensed the toys and make them a totally different thing.
Wouldn't it be funny if Hasbro just starts buying your Tourbots just to turn them into Transformers?
Oh, that'd be like, that's why we never got Machine Robo Rescue.
Yeah, no. If it was Hasbro from like the mid 2000s, they would just be either buying it up or trademarking enough phrases so as to block anyone from doing that. Yeah.
I mean, if we had got Machine Robo Rescue over here, that would have been so cool. And
but we did, Don, as a tiny sub branding of Transformers Universe 2004.
It's so messed up. Hasbro just
licensing
to calm down.
What sense does it make?
You want your robot rescues to be knockoff versions of your combiner teams? There you go! Transformers Universe 2004.
I will say I'm getting tired of all this Beetlejuice stuff, and it's all movie. There's no animated Beetlejuice. It's like the hell.
I've seen some animated Beetlejuice. There's I saw a little vinyl figure, I think at $5 Below.
I want NECA to do like animated Beetlejuice and Lydia.
Of course
Yeah.
you would. You're done.
I would also like this. I much prefer the animated version where
It's so much
Beetlejuice
better.
is just like
Yeah.
her weird uncle and
It
not
is
a
so
sex
much.
pest.
It is so
Yeah.
much
You know,
better.
I told Brian this, Trickster. I was really hoping in Beetlejuice, they did something to make the cartoon canon in between the two movies, but
No.
I was told
No, it's just horrible.
I still haven't seen it.
Oh, the cartoon is awesome. I like
The cartoon is awesome.
Yeah, you don't want it to tie into that movie. Trust me.
That movie
Hey, Matt.
sucks.
Hey, Matt.
Hello.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, look, I found an exciting new portable video game system for Brian.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
I've got one of those right there.
I saw a
Yeah.
cartoon where that thing was sentient and flew around.
So here's my hot take about the MCU is that Herbie should be Frank Welker, like original Herbie, doing that same obnoxious Game
Yeah.
Boy / scooter
Here's
/ original Herbie voice.
My brand new
Yeah.
classic handheld.
Game and Watch.
Yeah.
Nice.
See,
nice.
Brian says this, and it's actually true for him. So,
What is?
I mean, it's and it tells the time, Brian.
It does tell the time.
It's a game and a watch.
Yeah.
It's two things in one.
I don't know where
Two
my
things in one.
Game Boy is. Like my DS is my not my DS. My Game Boy Advance is over there. My Game Boy Pocket's here.
When I was staying with my parents, again, who are functional hoarders, my father just came up to me at some point and handed me a red Game Boy Pocket.
Oh, an
and
Evercade.
walked off.
Yeah.
No, it was just an actual. Oh, he's got the Evercade.
Yeah.
Just that, like a Game Boy Pocket that he had sitting around, and figured I would appreciate it. I was
That's
like,
what
"Yeah,
I've got.
thanks."
You can't see it because I got the multicade from Sam's,
Yeah, I've got that in my living room now. I brought it out of
Yeah.
storage.
but it has all three Super Star Wars on it, and I still can't beat it.
Don, did you ever use that thumb drive that I gave you?
No, you asked about it, and I've never been able to. I've never used it because you needed it or something.
You
right?
gave it. You lent it back to me. I gave it back to you. So yes, but like it has like thousands of games on it. Just
I
put
just
it in.
haven't. But
You have every game you've ever heard of on it, basically now.
And
if you just
probably a bunch that you haven't.
yeah.
Or get one of those Abinic things. I'm looking at one that's like 60 quid at the moment. Hopefully, I'll buy it one day.
I have an analog pocket.
I
So-
remember you showing it about 4 years ago.
I had an analog pocket. I got one, and then I sold it because I was able to like sell it for 3 times what I paid for it.
Well, I mean, yeah, but so you probably got the first wave.
Yeah.
Oh,
I got
okay.
it in the second wave. So
We got some new Transformers pictures from Matt Guzzi on Blue Sky. So first look at Vortex
Ooh.
what?
Or was it in the
Another
chat?
set
and
of boys.
McAdam.
Oh.
Alchemist Prime.
Where? It's not loading up yet.
Also,
Yep,
there's
that
also
Vortex
a Crasher.
sure does look like Vortex.
It
A
does.
Crasher?
Yeah.
there's a Crasher.
Crasher's a package refresh of the Walmart Velocitron one.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I found her when I had really severe norovirus. Good memories. Good memories.
who's doing this?
What?
The who? Where's the
Um,
pictures coming from? What person?
Matt Guzzi.
Matt Guzzi.
You could also just keep an eye on our Discord channel. We and our chat members are posting reposting
Oh, okay.
pictures.
Oh, I was trying. I'm bouncing back. and forth.
Radio.net/Discord.
I will show them off here.
I do like that the Alchemist Prime has sort of goggles going on, but he could stand to be a little more colorful.
He could definitely.
Okay. Well, I'm
He
glad.
needs
I'm glad
more,
that
like, orange
Crasher's
and
getting
stuff.
back out.
Yeah, they need to give me a single pack version of that Earth Mode Hound that was only available in a 5-pack.
Vortex looks amazing.
It made me so mad.
I feel
That
like
is-
with the number of repaints and reissues that we're going to be getting because of the Hasbro's financial situation, I imagine we're going to get that as a single release.
They better, because Like at one point when I was moving stuff, I had a bin that was full of like camping supplies, and I pointed out to Tengu that you could tell it was camping supplies because one of the things you could see on the outside was the Iron Factory hound because he has camping supplies. So I need a good hound that I can take hiking and take pictures with him up on like Hawksbill Summit, and he needs to come camping with me.
So
Yeah, they'll reissue it, but it'll be in yet a different multi-figure pack, I'm sure.
yeah, so that
Or a different
Vortex,
color.
that Vortex head sculpt makes me so happy.
Is that Vortex a
looks really,
Voyager?
Really good.
No, it's a deluxe.
It's a beautiful
It
deluxe.
looks huge.
Since we're talking handhelds, there's my Anbernick, which I showed, but I forgot I had this sitting here that I never ever play hardly.
Shut it all down. I've just seen Crasher.
Well, here I actually have my the laptop is being held up by one of my retro gaming bins. So here is here's PSP
Yeah.
3000.
I don't know what my PSP is. Like what's connected to the TV back in the back is a modded GameCube, which I never play, and my Mister, which I play all the time.
I'm just gonna knock my laptop completely over.
One of my 2025 goals is to mod and replace the screen on my original Game Boy. The glue finally died on the front panel.
So your DMG Game Boy?
Yeah, the one right there.
Oh man, I've never done that.
This is my custom Advance. The shell actually glows in the dark, and the
Oh,
buttons
cool.
you can't really see it, but the buttons are sparkly.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
It's very pretty. The screen is not modded, but it was the glacier blue and it was getting yellowed. So I figured I would spice it up a little bit.
I've just seen an image of Flint that I don't think I'm going to come back.
Yeah, the art on the card is weird.
I ended up with trading a bunch of books, like comic collection, like graphic novels from sets I was never going to finish, to the comic and game shop when I was moving, and ended up with a Spice GameCube that I then had to personally mod because whoever originally bought it did not realize the undertaking it would be and just put it back in the box and set it in a closet for a while.
That Retro Flint just kind of sucks in general. It's not just the art. The head sculpt looks off too. It's a nice head sculpt. It's just a head sculpt with somebody different.
Is that Flint artwork based on what's the name who played Lennox in the movies? The
Channing
movies?
Tatum?
Oh, that was
that was Duke.
Josh Duhamel.
Yeah, Josh Duhamel.
However you say it.
Does look a bit like it. Somebody pointed out in the discussion it looks a bit AI, and I'm actually inclined to agree.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they did some sort of AI thing. It spits out a CAD file and they just cut it based off that.
Yeah. I mean, there have been rumblings of, I will say, directives within Hasbro moving toward, leveraging more AI stuff for their work.
So
I agree.
Alchemist Prime is kind of
AI artists.
Yeah, he's kind of dull.
Yeah,
Yes,
he's kind of Bayverse.
Yeah.
I think I may need a Doctor Doom roleplay helmet though.
Color-wise,
really
especially.
nice.
Cool.
That's
right. Got the guy.
Yeah,
color-wise, especially, he's very Bay-esque.
Yeah. Yeah, we need a repaint of that.
Oh, that Archangel's
orange.
awesome.
Yes, it is.
I need to check and see if they're doing a Jack of Hearts finally.
They're
I
not.
need to check and see if I'm
spoilers.
getting my Rachel yet. Speaking of characters who my appreciation for really should have made me realize earlier my particular inclinations.
I just need to finish the original 5 Excalibur. Like, I need a Rachel, I need a Feral that would complete 2 teams, and I will have all of the 90s except for Generation X, which is going to take a while. But,
I mean, they are doing those, but yeah, they've done a bunch of Excalibur stuff. No Rachel.
Oh.
No Rachel.
Rachel Summers is one of the best characters other than Kurt Wagner.
She's great.
Yeah.
Well, that Maxim Spider-Man looks good, but I'm not sure if it's worth 50, but it does look good.
oh no, it's not worth 50.
No. I tell you what, somebody needs to buy that Doctor Doom helmet and basically be the Doctor Doom from that aborted Fantastic Four movie from the early
Corman
90s.
film.
Yeah, the really campy Doom, because I feel like my time has come, guys. I think I'm ready to be Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
I personally feel that Doctor Doom and also Morbius should always have like Tommy Wiseau weird Eastern European accents.
Never
Should
bring.
just be like,
Never-
you're tearing me apart."
sort of like, with all due respect, the Baroness, because her voice is etched in my mind forever.
Exactly that kind of accent.
European. We don't know from where. It's somewhere here. That's about as close as you can get.
Now, the 90s Spider-Man got it right for Morbius because he did have just the most absurd, awkward, vaguely Eastern European accent, and that needs to continue, and it needs to be Doctor Doom as well.
Let me just draw eyeballs on my hands and start looking for plasma.
Plasma.
I have a thirst for plasma.
Felicia, you're tearing me apart.
Oh my god, I can see it now. Oh no.
Now you know how the guys feel on a regular basis when I bring up stuff like that. I will say I like ROM. I've got ROM on pre-order.
I do too. I'm trying to take it easy with the toy buying this year on account of I just bought a house on my own. And
congratulations, by the way.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome to home
very
ownership.
excited.
I'll never say that.
Yeah.
I recognize those shelves, but not the person sitting in front of them.
Look at that! Hey, is he on? Do you know you're on?
Oh.
Hey, Ant. Hey, Ant, do you know you're on?
I didn't know if Brian was referring to me.
I was referring to you.
Yes, we're referring to you, Ant. Hi, Ant.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Do you have any news or anything? We saw Vortex, we saw McAdam, and the Crasher.
I have not seen any of those. I saw the Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
Are my boys there yet? I need my boys.
So I'm gonna have to do a little research on my own, I guess.
I need to see if we got a new version of this fella.
Somebody's just showed some artwork for Cover Girl, and I'm just gonna say it now. I think all of these are AR enhanced.
Oh no!
Yeah, not good.
Yeah, Cover Girl looks even more so than Flint did.
The figure looks great.
Sure. Yeah.
But that artwork is absolute ass.
It is.
But yeah, and if you don't, awesome toy blog Matt Guzzi on Blue Sky, he's got a lot of pictures.
Yeah, he's the one to tip me off to the Hot Wheels, and I have not seen. I don't know if it's just not updating.
The head sculpt on Vortex it gives me heart palpitations. I love it.
Yeah, Vortex
it's really
is just
good.
Great.
I look forward to this being Alpha Bravo at some point.
Yeah,
I would love that.
I accept that. I accept him into the fold.
Him and Rook both.
Yes.
Who's the movie character? Or
that's Alchemist Primer McAdam.
Oh, okay.
He's very Bayverse, isn't he?
As a generic off-road vehicle.
He needs more colors desperately.
I was really hoping that they would make his alt mode a still.
What? I don't.
That would be amazing.
I don't know why they didn't lean into the Cyberverse coloring for him.
Yeah, orange. Everything should be
too
orange.
Fun.
Yeah.
Apparently.
I just had the. This is just for Blade Raider if he's here. Hey, Blade.
He's watching.
He turned into a steel, and then you have your Alan Alda figure from MASH.
That joke's from Mead on.
Oh, okay. With the steel. But yeah, that he definitely
Martini glass.
Yeah, that sort of the photo, writes itself. Disappointed no Jack of Hearts or Power Pack.
You're never getting that, Don.
Are we seeing?
I can keep wishing. I have wished for more incredible things. I will Tryon 3 into existence.
Yeah,
yes.
Right. I was going to say, you know how many times you've said that and been wrong?
Yes, I'm always wrong. And if I keep saying it, it'll happen.
Don will get his Jack of Hearts before I get the rest of my comics Thunderbolts.
Yeah,
but
I'll get the horrible armored version from Silver Surfer. I won't get classic costumes.
I said in 2001, we're never getting G1. It's not coming back. Just stop.
And here it is, and they won't stop.
That's all we've had.
And now we can never not get G1.
But yeah, what I was saying when I got distracted by homeownership is that I'm trying to keep my toy purchases to the absolute bare bones what toys I cannot live without this year. and that ROM is on pre-order. I got that ROM on pre-order like immediately.
And here's the weird thing.
While I'm paying 2 mortgages, I'm doing the same thing. But once that other house is gone, I'm buying a shit ton of toys again.
And here's the weird thing. That ROM is actually connected to New Warriors. There's a connection between ROM and New Warriors.
So is he gonna hang out with them?
No. The ROM actually worked with someone that had the turbo suit. And it was passed down to his grandkids, who was one of the New Warriors. And in the last issue of the original New Warriors run, they fought the Dire Wrath Queen.
Nice. I have decided that he needs to hang out with Miss Ilyana here and fight some dire wraiths because she's good at fighting magic things. Also, she's doing a Cloud Strife pose because I couldn't help myself.
Liliana's cool.
Speaking of things that got reissued by Hasbro, because she was a Walgreens exclusive.
Who is that? I don't even know who that is. Who is that?
Okay,
Liliana Rasputin.
Ilyana Rasputin Magic from the New Mutants, except this is just like her new.
Is that like the sister of Colossus or something?
Yes,
Okay.
Colossus's baby sister.
Yeah, okay,
who was raised by demons.
I remember her.
Who is like, sometimes she's an adult, sometimes she's a teenager, sometimes she's a little girl, sometimes she's dead, sometimes she's not dead.
It's complicated.
Comics.
Schrodinger's character?
Almost as if one writer doesn't read the stuff that other writers.
Hey, it's like The Last Jedi.
I mean, I noted back in the 90s that Jubilee seemed to go back and forth through puberty based on who was drawing her.
I think she's a full-ass adult now. I think she's about 19, 20 years old in the comics.
She is now, but in 1994, not so much.
Yeah.
No.
I'm still mad.
Kitty Pryde had the same problem.
Yeah.
They seem to have de-aged her. Last time I saw her, she was like Kate Pryde and she was a pirate, and now she's gone back to being full-on Kitty Pryde.
So
at least
I think she's
writers
Shadowcat again, actually.
At least the writers could get Jubilee's age right. The writers had some problems. A certain Warren Ellis had some problems with Kitty Pryde's age.
Melvar Matt. So I don't know if you care about this. In Marvel in-game Avengers Assemble diorama set, Lego. So they have the little portals that they're all coming out of. And after Cap says Avengers Assemble, I think you need that.
I may need that.
Well, Tristan, I'm still mad that because of Amalgam, Robin and Jubilee got to meet. They're a great couple. They'd be a wonderful couple, and nothing can be done with it now. So it's like,
Okay, Don.
Well, I'm sorry. It's just like
they're doing more Marvel DC crossovers later this year. So who knows?
Really?
Maybe they'll hang out again.
Yeah.
So what's
Marvel
what do we know? I don't keep up with comics anymore.
It's Marvel is putting out Marvel DC, and DC's putting out DC Marvel, and that's basically all we know.
Okay.
Yeah, so the like Marvel's doing one with a full Marvel creative team, the other one's doing one with a full DC creative team. I don't know if they are meant to like follow on from one another, or are they literally just doing a crossover.
Dan DiDio's gone.
Yeah, Dan DiDio's gone.
Good.
But it could be a collection of just shorter stories in a larger book. We don't know anything at this point, other than it's happening.
If they do that in the spirit of what the original crossovers, like the Superman and Spider-Man one, where they just pretended, oh no, we've always existed in the same world, I would be down with that. I wouldn't mind that.
I'm fine when they do it that way. I kind of like it. It's generally not canon anyway.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I love seeing Clark Kent and Peter Parker out on a news story, and Peter Parker just happens to be his photographer for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you didn't worry about all this, just tell good stories.
Yeah.
There you go. Tell good stories.
Okay, so McFarlane did lose the license to Mattel?
I know they did for wrestling.
You mean DC? McFarlane lost the license to DC.
He's going back to Mattel, yes.
Oh, wow. So everybody start over again.
I don't care.
I don't
care either.
Maybe
I'm cherry picking the line, but I'm mad because
you have these 7-inch figures, and now you're gonna have to go back to 6-inch.
Well, it's not that. It's just I have one Cyborg from Cartoon Network's Teen Titan. In 6 years, they never put out any of the other.
That show sucks
Teen
anyway.
Titans.
Like Teen Titans Go is the only thing worth watching.
How dare? How dare? How dare you?
He's doing that to
Eric
get my
Wyatt's memory.
I just wanted a cartoon
Him
Raven.
tossing a grenade.
Raven has never had the closest figure she ever
The
had.
designs were great. It looked awesome. It was just boring.
I hate Teen Titans Go because now I can't surprise people by letting them know that Turbo Teen existed. They are aware. They have heard of it.
Turbo Teen alone can just scare an entirely new generation of children. So it's fine.
I love Teen Titans Go.
I liked trying to convince millennials of weird things that happened in the 80s, and Turbo Teen was one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's just the only toy that ever got close to what Raven looked like in that show was an Imaginext toy from Fisher Price. She's never had an actual real figure, and it just makes me angry. It makes me full of rage.
I'm with Brian here. I don't mind so much as if it's like if there's someone like an Adam West Batman or Superman, and it's relatively cheap enough, and I feel like particularly nostalgic enough to go and grab one, I might. But other than that, I don't mind either. I'm not that bothered.
I mean, I'm not upset.
There's a few McFarlane things I kind of like, and I'll probably get eventually. But I am not sad if this license goes back to a company that has still not in 30 years figured out how hip joints work.
Yeah. I'm just sad that characters that I would like to see, I now have to wait longer to get them because just like Marvel, my DC characters are very niche.
Name one, Ron. Who's your niche DC character?
Gnort.
Oh, that's... Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's that niche.
I would like to have the rest of Justice League Antarctica.
Okay, there you go. Shut up.
That's pretty good.
Okay, how close to being niche but not niche enough and not getting a toy do you think?
I don't know. I just want the rest of the Cartoon Network Teen Titans. If I gotta start over, I'll start over.
I want figures from that Legion of Superheroes cartoon that they did.
Do you know what I saw in my local comic book shop like yesterday? I saw complete replications. I've been out of the game for a while, so if you guys know about this, that's absolutely fine. But I saw a complete upgraded version of the old Marvel Superheroes Secret War toy line, complete with the shields with the holograms on them. Yesterday. Like, that blew my mind.
So Rusty's like Great Lakes Avengers figures, like Justice League Antarctica is more obscure than Great Lakes Avengers.
Yeah, I mean. The Justice League Antarctica, their heavy hitter was Gnort. He was their heavy hitter. Other than
he's
Captain
a Green
Disaster.
Lantern. That is a pretty heavy hitter.
Any Green Lantern's a heavy hitter.
Well, true.
Just
but it's also Gnort.
Yeah.
As a non-DC person, how much supercrime was going on in Antarctica that they needed an entire team there?
This is an excellent question.
They were all reformed villains, and so they needed to stick them someplace where they could do the least amount of damage. Except there was an Arctic research station conducting secret experiments crossing penguins with piranha, and they escaped.
As you do.
Yes, that all makes sense now.
Just normal things.
So,
just normal stuff.
And do you know when the first group goes in? They're already in, I'm assuming, right?
6. Oh, I would. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I know Group 2 goes in at 6:30, so I would assume Group 1.
I'm assuming they're already there.
They're there. They're outside. I would. Let me see.
Miguel posted a photo of himself inside.
Well, he's inside the overall
thing.
Yeah, he's
so he's inside the Javits Center. You got to think of it as it is very much a convention center in the same way that you would be at a toy convention, right? So instead of tables, their booths are set up in a way that usually there is a closed off area in those spaces that you have an appointment, you go up to a check-in desk, you say you're here, you wait, and then they let you in to see the showroom that's within those. Hasbro hasn't done one of these at the Javits Center since they've been doing them, so it's gonna be interesting. It's interesting to me that they're doing it like this this time around.
Yeah, it used to always be an off-site location adjacent to Toy Fair.
Right, so it was an off-site location that was mainly a theater And it would
they
be
showed video.
What's that?
They showed video, didn't they? Like,
right. Well, you would sit in this theater space where there'd be a stage where they would present, kind of similar to what they do with the live streams now. They'd present to the screen, they'd show videos, and then after that was done, after all the groups that were presenting went, then you got in. You were allowed to go downstairs to the showroom area, and the showroom area was laid out in a way where it was more like a gallery, like almost like a museum or an art gallery, and then you would be able to go through and like take pictures and stuff.
Did you consider going yourself this time, flying up there?
No. No, not with the, it's funny, I heard you on the show and this weekend talking about how it is different, and it really did. I mean, part of me is like, I really do want to be there because it is kind of cool, but on the other hand, I can't justify a flight back to New York at this point in my life. much like Jenny, I also have a home, and I have a 6-year-old. So
things are expensive.
God, it's
being an adult is expensive.
It sucks.
God.
Yeah.
Oh.
I just Evangelist just mentioned, damn, the Wayoon troop builder has arrived.
Yes. Actually, you're right. It would be a troop builder in a sense, except there's only one at a time.
Okay, so what you need a bunch of Wayoons, and then you need a bunch of plastic tubes to put them in. Just the standby Wayoons.
You need
Jeffrey Combs.
You need what, 8 of them or 7?
Okay, it's definitely one of those. It's definitely one of those 2 numbers.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think our Wayoon is 7, then 8.
I think 7 was actually 7 was the one that defected.
Yes, we need at least 7.
No, I think Brian's right. We need 8. 8 was the last one, and he got killed in the finale.
Yeah.
7 was the one that defected and ate pizza with Odo.
Yes. So 6 was the primary Wayoon that we know of.
Yeah. Yeah, who died in the mysterious transporter accident. Damar has no idea. What could have happened.
Well, he spilled his canar on the controls. That's what happened.
Yep.
Oh, just like in the episode of Lower Decks.
Yeah.
I'm looking at these Nacelle Star Trek figure pictures again. Like, just damn, those face sculpts are good. Like, that's amazing. Like, the worst face sculpt likeness is the Jellicoe, and even that is fine. Pretty okay. Yeah.
The Vortex makes me hopeful. Vortex has my ideal would be that we get a cartoon Fireflight head for the main release, and then the inevitable G2 color release can have a toy head.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Well, so Jellicoe comes with a fish tank that he didn't like.
It's empty though, if you'll notice.
Okay.
Or at least the prototype is, empty. Like there may be more to it when it's the final pieces.
I'd say it's a joke because he didn't like the fish, so he's stuck with the fish,
Yeah.
Especially if you don't take him out of his card, then he's stuck inside that plastic with that fish for eternity.
Yeah, and I don't think the tank is empty. It kind of looks like there's fish there just in silhouette because of the plastic.
The bowl is cloudy, which I have to assume when it's the actual production piece, they will try to make that bubble transparent rather than translucent like that.
Or they just baked it in case they need to cut the budget, and then they can get rid of the fish.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, Jellicoe would approve.
Yeah, but it's like, what other? I kind of want to see what other accessories they come with to justify a $30 price point. Because Rachel Garrett looks great, but she's got to come with some stuff.
Regret.
I just want to make a big announcement.
Shrapnel.
Daughter Cassidy here just lost her first 2 teeth.
Oh, congratulations!
Wow.
How did that happen together?
Fancy. Nice. Look at that. You can get big teeth in no time.
Wiggled super hard. It came out. I was like,
when that
I was like rubbing something. Came out of my mouth. And then
if you're an adult and that happens, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mommy wasn't even looking.
Oh, how dare.
I was eating.
You were eating? All right.
I just pulled something hard and then.
I just want you all to know with my daughter with
That's
a
awesome.
very bloody paper towel right here. It was totally natural.
My 5-year-old hasn't
normal
lost
bleeding.
Yeah, my 5-year-old hasn't lost any yet, so I'm just waiting for this to happen.
Oh yeah.
My son was a little bit later. I think he was like 7. when he
Tooth Fairy may
started.
stop by tonight. You never know.
Yeah, Morgan has several teeth left to go. Like so, I don't know. It's something as a parent that I enjoy, the whole Tooth Fairy thing.
Yeah. My son lost one on a camp out in the fall with Cub Scouts, and thankfully, like I was running home to grab something when someone texted me, so the Tooth Fairy was able to make an appearance at the camp out, like under his
that's
pillow.
smart.
Nice.
Ooh, classified.
What? Where?
Oh, Night Force, Beachhead, and Quick Kick.
Give me Ninja Force.
Yes,
so
I want Shebang.
Ooh, that'd be an interesting one.
I do like Deep Beachhead. He's a.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to say swears.
Oh, that robot.
That Quick Kick has got the Oni mask for some reason that I don't remember him.
Is that an Oni mask or a Tengu mask?
I don't know the difference.
Me neither.
I mean, a Tengu is a very specific thing. Oni is a more general term.
Okay.
Yeah, Tengus are bird-like.
Yeah, because it's weird because Valaverse just came out with their Senshi figure, which has the Oni mask. So it's apparently it's something from somewhere.
Oh, Law and Order. Law and Order.
I'm sorry. There's a snake battle suit.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
I'm looking at that picture right now.
Oh, I want that. I want that.
Battle suit
You
is
can't
amazing.
you can't get as old school as that. Oh my god! And then it makes me want to have Exo Squad toys.
Oh
Yes.
God, I've
Yeah.
been pushing for Exo.
Okay, yeah, like yes, but I don't want them to be GI Joe classified size. I wouldn't be able to hardly afford just reissue Exo Squad toys at the original size. Like those would be expensive now. I definitely couldn't afford Exo Squad at 6-inch scale.
So,
My house is not
I've
that
been wanting to
big.
try.
I just realized, that's going to be huge.
Get
Yeah.
Marsala's big 2-seater. Oh my god.
The size of Supreme
So-
Cheetor, yeah.
And polar bear. So that's
Snake Eyes and Polar Bear 2-pack.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's the wrong. Okay, Snake Eyes and polar bear. That's right. Yeah, and the polar bear has arrows in him.
Well, there's another panel that looks like it can be replaced.
Wait, where's this?
It's on the,
Magoozy.
on the Discord.
Where's the
Magoozy.
polar bear?
It's right next to the snake battle armor.
I missed that. Oh, holy
Very
crap!
purple snake eyes. Yeah.
It's a big old bear butt.
I don't know how I missed that. I mean, the giant robot is how I missed that.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
A little
I kind of
distracted.
figured this was coming with the reuse of the eel bodies, or the basically your scuba diver bodies, but Joe Diver versus the Cobra Diver. That's kind of neat.
What about Web Diver?
Ketchup
Yes.
versus mustard there.
Bring back Web Diver.
I think about Web Diver all the time.
I think I probably forgot about Web Diver completely for a solid 10 to 15 years. And
The only
then
time I
someone brought
remember
it
is
up a
when
couple
TJ
weeks
Omega
ago.
mentioned it in one of his videos.
See,
Good old Web Diver.
We all await the inevitable arrival of the septic tank, his tank. Once that comes along, that's it.
Yes.
Bets are off.
I am
Fang?
ready for the early 90s.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the early 90s nostalgia.
When everybody was a ninja.
Everyone was a ninja, but also somehow at the same time chartreuse.
Okay, if they go that route, I better get a Dr. Biggles Jones.
Yes.
Oh, she never had a toy.
Yes.
She had the BotCon toy, right?
The BotCon toy. She
Yeah.
never had the actual toy. Yeah, and that Scarlet from that 4-part mini with that weird outfit.
Yes,
but they got a
the
fang.
The Ninja Force Scarlet?
Claw. Sorry, Claw.
Fun story while we're waiting for more stuff to come
I
up.
want Drug Elimination
So,
Force, by the way. I'll shut up.
in the early 90s, I started collecting G2 as like a young teenager. And one day I was in there and I decided I'm going to buy a G.I. Joe too. So I bought that Ninja Force Scarlet. And then the second stop after Toys R Us was the comic shop. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to see what's going on with the G.I. Joe comic because the G.I. Joe comic is still running. So on a whim, I picked up the G.I. Joe
Crystal
comic.
ball.
And the last page of that G.I. Joe comic was where the G2 crossover started.
So I started reading G.I. Joe again. I guess I'm not from the beginning. I started reading G.I. Joe at issue 123. So I had started a little bit before that, but like I was huge into G.I. I'd stopped buying Transformers. Then I was just buying G.I. Joe because I was sophisticated by that point, and you know, and I didn't get back into Transformers until like 95, and I'd missed all the stuff.
I was pretty much the same. I got out around the time G2 started, and then I didn't touch anything remotely Transformers based until a little after Beast Wars. It was just when, it was just as Robots in Disguise 2001 started showing up.
Never going to get a wetsuit.
Oh. So I have very, very strong. I think I got Scarlet and like G2 hubcap at Toys R Us. So I got a G.I. Joe and a Transformer, and then Transformers showed up in the G.I. Joe.
Oh wow, Crystal Ball looks
so.
Wow.
No, so I guess is the shield and it is lenticular. It looks like so. It better be.
It looks like it's like a Hydra or something.
I don't remember. On the original, it's just like, if I remember right, just like some sort of funny pattern.
Oh, I just recognize who the guy in the middle is. Isn't that from G.I. Joe Extreme?
Which one?
Do you mean Crystal Ball?
Iron Grenadiers.
Iron Grenadiers was from G.I. Joe.
Yeah, that's Destro's his own force.
Oh,
that would have been from the Deke. That would have been from the
early
Deke
90s.
Cartoon, right?
Yeah.
So no, exactly Metalhead was an Iron Grenadier. You had the Iron Grenadiers. You had Destro in the with the gold helmet.
It's all coming back to me now. So there was a third faction splintered off from Cobra when
Destro got sick of their crap.
Yeah.
Crystal Ball and then Breaker. Breaker looks good.
Yeah, I don't remember Frag Viper. I can admit when I have a knowledge gap, but I do not remember Frag Viper.
Oh my gosh.
Frag Viper was like a 88 or 89 figure, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that
I'm not seeing
blowtorch.
Frag Viper, but it sounds familiar.
Yeah. That blowtorch looks incredible. He's always been one of my favorite characters for his outfit. His outfit has always been something I loved.
What's this dragon?
Onyx Prime pictures.
Yeah, in our Discord, Bromo reposted them.
Dragon, what's the dragon?
Footloose.
That's a lot of gold-looking plastic. That's a frightening toy.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be frightening characters.
Oh, and the Devastation
Not for that reason.
Ground Soldier and Seeker 2-pack.
Oh, there's the Perceptor.
Rat Pat.
Oh boy.
I really love that part in the movie where Perceptor's getting beat up on by cassettes.
Okay, so the Rat Bat I'm pretty sure is just the Siege mold again, but now with the booster pieces that it didn't have originally.
I would be incredibly tempted to color in all the grey bits as chrome. But other than that, that is a gorgeous Perceptor.
It is. We said, what more can they do to Perceptor on a third release?
Well, there you go.
Then Bob's your uncle.
Also,
nice.
Excellion from the Walmart capsule for this summer is on the
I see Excellion in the Perceptor.
Yeah.
Is there one focusing on Excellion?
No, that's just all I see so far.
There's also the
Hearts of Steel.
No, the Hearts of Steel. No, the one from the other game, Devastation 2-pack.
No.
I'm in love with a Megatron.
I think that Studio Series Seeker is that Ramjet from Cyberverse.
No, that's the Earthrise Seeker body.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay, because I thought it would, because that toy was not good. What is the drone mate? Is that from the Runabuck Runabout?
Yeah, it must be.
I'm just staring at awe at this Megatron that turns into an old, like, medieval cannon.
Yeah,
but it's World War One. It's the Hearts of Steel concept art.
Yeah, I've definitely all the Hearts of Steel you want to make, I will buy it.
Onyx Prime does look really neat, but again, he could really stand some more color.
Just to be a single color that's not gold.
Yeah, I mean,
it's meant to trigger many people in the family.
We have been told that they fixed that.
Okay, but do you believe them?
And by we, I mean at whichever BotCon it was where they revealed the Linkin Park Soundwave. And a few of us were standing in front of it, like in the display case, just looking in horror at this entirely gold plastic Soundwave.
Wasn't Linkin Park Soundwave more butterscotch than gold, though?
And Aaron Archer came up to us and said that they had fixed it.
Yeah.
I will say John Warden said the same thing at HasCon when they announced the Power of the Prime's Dinobots. So
yeah,
we've heard it a few times.
So I'm assuming that the photos that have come through may be the big items.
Where's my boys? I need my boys.
Yeah. There has to be more than this, right?
I mean, the Perceptor is really good. Perceptor is also a favorite of mine.
Yeah,
but,
and it's gonna make me buy a set again.
And I needed some more tapes.
Okay,
some more tape.
Okay,
buddies.
There's a versus pack underneath the Elite Seeker that I'm trying to figure out what that is. There might be some more.
More crucially, we got a studio series from a Transformers video game that was a few years ago now.
Oh, the versus pack down there is Carnivac and Iron Fist.
I would like to point out once again, as part of my crusade in favor of physical media, that the only way you can play Transformers Devastation right now is if you have previously downloaded it or have the discs. You cannot buy it.
Yeah.
Have to get it. I didn't have an Xbox until like a year and a half ago.
Okay,
and
so
I found a copy of that. I need to play it.
The thing I just realized about this, aside from Onyx Prime, everything we've seen pictures of so far are store exclusive, so they're probably going through store exclusive stuff first, and then we're gonna get to maybe Jen's children.
My boys. My young boys.
So since this is in New York, Jack's not there. Since these are T-Former photos, who's
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know who's there anymore.
Jack has gone in the past.
Has he?
Yeah.
The cassette 2-pack comes with a bonus Perceptor.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And and I pointed out, Chris, we were talking about why is this at Target? And I said, well, it's red. So
yeah, it's like how Walgreens exclusives are always medics.
Yeah.
Well,
and much more expensive.
Was Binary a medic?
Well, no, the Transformers ones have been.
Yeah. I never made that connection. I feel so dumb right now.
Yeah.
Also, they had a few years back, a My Little Pony exclusive that was a nurse.
There was a Wreck-Gar, wasn't there?
Well, was that Nurse Redheart?
I don't think so, but maybe. I don't know. I keep wanting to think of her as Nurse Joy, and that's an entirely different.
Because the only two that I've got is the Optimus Prime. Well, I got the Optimus Prime and the Ghostbusters and Doctor Who's.
And Blue Streak as well. Forget about Blue Streak.
Walgreens also had Brainstorm, and calling him a medic is the most tenuous thing at best, and also the one clone 2-pack.
So Spencer Wilde is like, the Junkions did at least heal Magnus.
Yeah.
That is fair. That is fair.
I think the Junkions.
Spencer, why did you cancel Solus Prime? What's wrong?
I thought Blue Streak was a Target exclusive.
That was the Buzzworthy.
Right.
Buzzworthy was.
Was there a Blue Streak that was a Walgreens
the Siege one?
Oh, no, I feel like the
Earthrise Blue Streak was Target exclusive.
I feel like the medic focus for Walgreens has been something that they've been really trying to do more in recent years. It was like
first aid,
or maybe a happy accident at first, but the last few have been explicit. Like they get the medic.
Oh, big guy. Okay, my big cat Edgar was not sure whether he wanted to be on my lap or not.
Oh, Law and Order, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. One of my favorite characters from the 1986 movie.
Yeah, I need that so he can oppress people. Well, he's military police.
I've been muted this whole time. Awesome.
A-cab.
Well, to be fair, former military police who then joined the International Heroes.
A-cab includes G.I. Joe.
And so I want to say it's impressive that you're sitting here, but you're also posting pictures from Toy Fair.
I know, and I'm seeing them for the first time here too.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. It might be Jay from TNI getting the photos for T-Formers.
Well, I'm talking about the ones at TFU.info.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
Rob
I'm
unfortunately
a few
has been
minutes
muted.
back here.
Whenever Ant mentions me on Blue Sky, I get new followers, so keep doing that, Ant. Thank you.
You got it.
No one should be following me on anything. I don't know where I'm going.
People follow me, and I don't know what I'm doing half the time either. Well,
by the way, please join Mastodon. Trickster's created a server there.
Yes, come join Retro.pizza. There was in like the first wave of Mastodon migration in like 2017, there was a scramble.city server, but
I remember that.
It did not stick around, and I decided that I wanted to be a little more general interest, so it's retro.pizza.
I was at Hollywood Studios waiting in line when I found out about Retro Pizza and signed up like in the rain at Disney.
It's great. It's the vibes over there are generally pretty good, but we need more people over there posting that stuff. So I still have to go to Blue Sky to post my like extremely niche in the woods kind of Transformers takes.
There's an app called Open Vibe that'll post to Mastodon, Threads, and Blue Sky.
It's on. I think it's on Android as well. Yeah,
okay, cool.
I am on iOS.
I forget to use it.
I am on IO everything at this point. I have fully migrated to Apple products, except for my little, what I call my shit kicker laptop that it was originally called Minimus because I refer to all of my devices as some transformer, generally more than meets the eye thing. But I recently gave it a big overhaul with this really like, I don't want to say it's an edgy Linux distro, but it does specifically refer to itself as anti-fascist.
Nice.
So I have renamed it Clicker.
There you go. There we go. New photos.
Is it Clicker?
No. G2 Grimlock.
Yeah.
Star Convoy.
Oh, he looks good.
Yeah, this is all the stuff we've seen before, I believe.
But I want that Star Convoy so bad.
I want that G2 Grimlock.
Me too. I need that mold for the 17th time.
Yeah, now the blue, it's not quite the dark blue, it's not quite the turquoise. It's kind of somewhere in the middle.
Oh, I think it's very much the dark blue.
Yeah, it is.
It's dark blue.
Well, we've got the previously seen boys in this picture, but
for the battle scene.
I just realized, of course, Star Convoy is going to be a Titan class because he turns into a base. Does that mean you're going to have a little Rodimus Prime with him?
Yes,
it does.
Yes, yeah. He has a hot Rodimus.
Look in the background.
Son of a.
Yeah, it looks off to me.
You're
but
not
I still
done
want
buying Transformers anymore, huh, Tommy?
I know. I feel compelled to buy it because I'm kind of a hot rod collector.
Number one.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, so number one, Star Convoy is just niche enough for me to say, oh, it's just another Optimus Prime, because it's literally from the manga. I can live with that. I can live with myself. But also, he's freaking huge and will look great next to Brave
and
Maximus.
He's a lot better than the last Star Optimus we got.
So real quick, so Star Convoy, his knees are yellow, but the chest crest looks gold. Is that right?
Looks like
it looks painted. It looks like it could be painted gold.
Yeah, Tommy, if you zoom in on
it should be yellow
on the picture with Star Convoy, you can actually see in the background Micromaster Hot Rod is up there.
Oh yeah,
he's on a little like
timey for years.
Yeah, like his head is cut off, but
Miguel posted the names of the Hot Wheels characters. The flame guy is Bone Shaker, and the blue guy is Twin Mill.
Okay, so they are using the Hot Wheels names for those cars, apparently, because somebody in our Discord
I see it.
mentioned that.
Yeah, I see Hot Rod with a little ramp that he's about to leap from.
Okay,
this is cool.
Less than 35, no die cast. They're hand painted, so
sadly the blue one probably won't be that sparkly looking in real production then.
No,
he does look super sparkly though. Alas.
Hopefully.
What, the Grimlock?
No, the blue Hot Wheels Deluxe.
Oh.
That we've been talking about for the last minute and a half.
Sorry, I was trying to.
Needs metallic paint.
Yeah.
It does look really nice.
Yeah.
Big fan character vibes, and I mean that in the best possible way. Actually, he's got big Armada Blur vibes.
It's the shoulders.
It's the shoulders.
It's less big Armada Blur vibes and more big Armada Blur shoulders.
I mean, you
Yes.
say Armada. There's definitely an Armada Red Alert there.
Yeah.
Large Armada.
Yep.
When is Star Convoy shipping?
In the summer, probably. You know,
Okay.
normal.
Yeah, September
fighting time.
probably.
I need
I
to-
already gotta
expensive.
sell some stuff to afford Lio Kaiser.
He's gonna be.
So if anybody wants to send me a few $1,000s, I've got that Transformers Universe variant cover that is apparently incredibly rare and valuable.
I've got a couple of Pokemon cards I could sell.
That Vortex alt mode looks way bigger than the robot mode.
I know. That's what I was saying. That's why I thought it was Voyager for some reason. It's huge.
Just posted some Bruticus box art in the Discord.
Oh yeah.
Well, I would be up for some Bruticus. Do the
My-
Technobots next.
My favorite.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, the Technobots, they could follow the aerial bot motif to give Scattershot the frame, but I think it's like all was saying, when we get to like Predacons, Abominus, you know, how are they going to are they going to have to do it individually like the Constructicons, or are they going to have to try to use a frame system that may not make any sense?
I mean, everything's gonna be frame system for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, that seems to be their preferred engineering approach, which is fine. I personally just feel like it's a different way of doing it.
Yes.
I mean,
I personally am sick of combiners only being cared about for their merged form. I think that we need to care about them as individuals.
Well, how do you feel about Lio Kaiser then? Because it definitely looks like Lio Kaiser was made as the combined form priority, and then
Victory Saber.
I think it's
Not
time
Lio Kaiser,
to
yeah.
start writing fan fiction about them as individual characters.
Make sure to include the Rescue Force. They deserve some love.
Yeah,
I was going to say, I mean, if you're going to talk about combiners, I mean, don't forget you also got like Landcross and the Brain Masters,
Road Caesar.
Yeah,
Road Caesar.
I'm definitely dreading the moment in the Skybound comics when the aerial bots show up, immediately combine into Superion, and they get disintegrated or something. Because I just feel like that's what's going to happen,
Mm-hmm.
and I hate that a lot.
But you
Diecast started posting pictures.
Awesome, badass Optimus Prime suplexing people and smacking people around with his own disembodied arm.
Okay,
I mean, I'm buying it. I'm double dipping at this point because I'm also buying the trades just to reread. So I'm not rereading individual issues.
I got a man who's literally going around buying all the alternate covers and stuff like that as well. Like if there's like a bit of special art from an artist he really enjoys, he's buying that thing like twice, 3 times
I
over.
don't even like it. I mean, I like it. I just don't love it.
Okay,
It's fine.
I want Cold Slither. I want that set, and I love the box because on the side of it is an ad for Jim at that theater.
Oh, that's awesome.
So,
that is awesome.
Don, what you're saying is with Cold Sliver, you'll be joining them soon. A band of outlaws playing your tune.
It depends on if I can get them or not. Hopefully, someone at the show can pick one up for me, or I'll have to try to get one after on the.
Okay, so there's a
Cybertron
picture
Sideways.
of and I'm trying to figure out what it's made from.
Sideways? Is that what we're talking about?
Plastic. Yeah. It's made from plastic.
It's made from the original mold. Sure looks like it.
It sure looks like it.
Yeah. So you need to just figure out what's it going to be.
Hey, props, he's got the Cyber Planet key as well.
Except this almost looks like it has ankle tilts, and I don't think the original had ankle tilts.
Oh, those shoes
The
are...
original did not have ankle tilts.
No.
It's got a bunch of built-in recolors, so I mean, they don't necessarily need to be anything else.
We're living in a time where they're taking original G1 molds and in some cases actual prototype molds in RC and putting extra articulation in, and that's what you point out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course it's going to have ankle tilt.
No, I mean, like, this could be a Cosmos situation where it is 100% new parts and it's lumped into something else's retool budget. Like, they've done that enough times now that that's just, we should expect it to be a possibility. But, like, Yeah, it's very, very accurate to actual Cybertron Sideways, but I'm pretty sure this is completely new.
So,
look. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, Diecast has posted a link about these shoes that he wants
For Don's wife
to wear for him.
I see those shoes.
If you're making Decepticon like custom, I'll wear them. I've got no shame. I'm fine with it.
If you made them without the heels, I would wear them.
Oh, even with the heels, I'll wear them.
I would support you wearing them with the heels.
He would need support wearing them.
Not me.
So
refreshing all the feeds.
So I have to say, I'm looking at Twitter right now. Not Twitter.
No.
Not Twitter. I'm looking at Blue Sky.
As always,
I want to call it Twitter. It's Blue Sky. And there's a picture of Diecast with my daughter. And I have no idea where in the hell I took this picture. I'm the one that shared it. But I don't know where we are. It's like a hotel room. Like
that's awkward.
Yeah, it is awkward as hell. Like where? Oh, that was TFCon last year. Okay. Or 2023. That's it. Okay.
I like TFCon.
Okay.
I got to go to 2 of them last year.
Oh, there's the pictures.
Who is posting all the pictures?
Diecast is starting to post up a bunch of pictures, but the pictures we've already seen. So somewhat.
I don't think Toronto is in the budget. Plus, unlike previously, I do not have a cat sitter in my new town yet.
But Chicago in October.
We'll see how much I can get for that universe variant cover.
TFCon Chicago is a lot of fun.
Apparently, the last recorded sale was.
I'll see you there, Jeremy. I just don't know how I'm getting there yet.
Huh. Well, I'm not sure yet either because that far away, there's a lot of stuff happening in 2025.
That's far enough where I should fly, but I've only flown to Chicago once. I typically drive.
I drove last time, and that's 11 hours for me. And
it's 11 hours for me as well.
I mean, I typically drove to Chicago because I lived in Ohio. So
yeah.
I mean, right now I'm 2.5 hours away. So
I'm a little further away now.
I drove from Pittsburgh. I live there.
Hi.
The last recorded sale on that comic cover was $4,500. So I might have some conventions in my future.
So Pittsburgh, Memphis. You're in Memphis, weren't you?
I started in Memphis. That's where I was born.
Okay, like where? I forget where you're at now.
Now I'm in Madison, Wisconsin.
I thought it was Wisconsin. I couldn't remember where. Okay.
Because I brought that nasty Transformer cheese to a TFCon and made people on stage eat it.
Oh, wow.
That was a lot of fun.
Nice. I've got my special convention water bottle that has convention stickers. It's got from the Slurpee run in Toronto.
Oh, nice.
And also Ratchet and Drift kissing. So that's why this bottle does not go to work. It does not go to my job. Also, I found some BotBots cartoon stickers from an artist at TFCon Toronto.
I don't remember which TFCon, but Mike Cyber sent me that one.
Yes, BotBots.
Yeah.
That cartoon was so good, guys.
Yeah.
It was so
I never
good.
got past the first couple. I just didn't enjoy it.
You didn't make
great.
it to the lemon
The musical episode, like the Hamilton parody, was great.
It also helped that around when it came out, I was occasionally having to do overnight shifts at work, so I was feeling extremely Dave at the time.
It hit at just the right time with the age my kid was, so we could watch it together, and it was just perfect.
Morgan loved it.
So good. It's so much better than it has any business being.
It's just better than whatever they're gonna do with the cyber world.
Many musical numbers.
Oh,
there was a Chopping Mall episode.
I put the Lemon song in the chat, so if you haven't seen it, you really do need to see the Lemon song.
So good.
There's the Exilion.
Yeah, a little bit better picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, considering what Takara did making the Cybertron hot rod mold or hot shot mold again for Legacy, I really shouldn't be surprised they went whole hog into remaking Sideways. Somebody like in a position of authority at Takara really loves Galaxy Force.
Fair.
I like Galaxy Force.
I mean, it's kind of that the turn for that era.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely the best of the three as far as fiction goes.
Yeah.
Had an awesome soundtrack from the same guys that did Super Sentai.
I loved the ideas behind Armada, but the execution was just not
definitely
good.
I mean, also putting episodes out before the studio had a chance to finish the animation also didn't help its chances.
Yeah. It's so weird. You go back and, it'll be on the Pluto TV Transformers stream, and it's just, you have all these, like, A-list voice actors coming in, and they're given this D-level script for stories that are mid to begin with, and it's
Oh, wait, we were talking about Superlink now?
Yes. Well, I'm talking about Armada, Superlink.
Are you specifically talking about the English dub of Armada or in general?
There was an English dub of Armada?
No, but like Jen, to what you're saying, I think Energon ended up being so much worse for all of those things.
And I never watched Cybertron because of it, and Cybertron's good.
Yeah, Cybertron's brilliant.
I was really hoping with Energon that we could get Brad Swaley to come to a convention, but sadly that did not happen.
I hate that I missed Wankus, the one
he was at the bar. 'Cause man, I miss the days of the bar. He was at the bar and he'd have his hand on a chair and he'd take his hand off the chair and he would just start swaying. So obviously he was so drunk that he was relying on the chair to keep him upright. And then the next morning we saw him going to his panel. It's like, hey, Wankus, you hungover? And he said, nope, still drunk.
I want to point out for context, Wankus was the voice actor for Prowl in Robots in Disguise 2001.
That's almost a rude word in my country, actually.
Yeah, I know.
It's kind of a word rude here.
Yeah.
And he was some sort of like, what, porn radio star or something?
No, he was just like a morning zoo guy.
Yeah, but he went on to have a career hosting like some sort of like adult themed game shows on the internet.
With a name like Wankus.
But he he would be canceled now. He would never be allowed to have anything to do with a cartoon.
Well, he wasn't doing the adult stuff until afterwards.
I thought it was before. I thought he was doing something before. Was he not?
I'm pretty sure he was just a morning zoo kind of radio DJ guy beforehand. Like the kind of guy on a radio station who gets called Wankus, and then there's like a bunch of
have we seen everything? Do we think we've seen everything?
We better not.
Any more pictures? There's a better picture of the battle armor from G.I. Joe.
The snake armor
with the actual cockpit opened up.
Yeah,
and that just looks cool.
That does look amazing.
Yeah, I got a feeling that's gonna be like a Commander class price point.
Yeah, that's at least. I mean, at a 6-inch scale, that might be their Titan.
Playmates Power Rangers is looking exactly as disappointing as I expected.
Okay, so
my God, yes.
I saw a little bit of that in the video coverage earlier, and like the Morpher looks okay. The Blade Blaster actually looks like a good toy.
I'm not even seeing those yet. I just saw a picture of the team posted together and missing paint apps. Yellow Ranger looks like she's wearing a diaper.
I'll say this: everything that is in display there, because I've watched a YouTube video from Pixel Dan. And they were demonstrating the functionality of the toys and everything like that. There's still so much in the prototype stage, it's unreal. So you can see there's missing paint apps. You can see that they've added like things to it in order to make the functions work and stuff like that. They're not done. They're not done with these toys by a long mile.
I wouldn't be super sure about that.
I said it, but in some regards, hence the automorphing helmet rangers, they're ready to go.
Yeah,
but there's other ones you see.
Okay, yeah, the 5.5-inch superposable ones. Yeah, those. they said were for next year. So yeah, those are still in the development stage. But I think everything else is like done and ready to roll out. Like we have to remember there is 2 different Playmates toys. There is the one that occasionally does really nice Star Trek toys. And things like Exo Squad in the 90s. And then there's the one that does Ninja Turtles, which Ninja Turtles was great toys, but always there was, a bunch of unpainted details and stuff on those toys. Like there's 2 faces to Playmates toys, and Power Rangers has more the Ninja Turtles side of things than the Star Trek collectors side of things. But like again, the Blade Blaster toy genuinely looks like a good, fun, solid toy. I love that when you slide the top handle back, it makes the sword blade pop out, and when you slide it forward again, it pulls it back in. Like that's great. That is great. They even got in the right colors. Bandai America never did that the first time. And it looks like it's sized well for an average adult hand. It's probably going to be a little small for me, but like it's big enough. Also, we have pictures right now coming in of Carnivac and Iron Fist.
I've just seen them myself. The Carnivac looks awesome.
Yeah.
So are we not getting any Marvel Legends like any new Marvel Legends stuff from this?
I think what we've
one
done in the past.
Yeah, one of them on their socials the other day said to expect maybe 1 or 2 things. Everything else we've already seen. And we've seen Archangel. So that's new. So that may be it.
Yeah, the X Factor costumed ones.
X-Force. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, X-Force. Yeah, I saw them earlier.
Really good.
Yeah, Carnivac's got some good purple going on. It's funny, Carnivac is a headmaster now. It's really flashing back to Titan's Return with that. And yeah, Iron Fist is a heavy retool of, I guess, the Earth mode Hound. So sorry, Jen, that's pushing back. That's pushing you back your reissue for probably another 8 to 12 months.
I need him to go camping with me. I just moved 2 miles from a national park.
Well, you're not going to be able to go to the national park anyway.
The Cybertron, the Siege Hound should have been.
Yeah, that would be
Iron
perfect
Fist all along.
The colors on the Iron Fist also look a little off.
I mean, I guess it's trending a little bit cooler, but like, remember, I think it was Josh Burcham that did the colors for Last Stand, and his colors always tended a little on the warm side for anything. So like, this probably is kind of more in line with what they think is the neutralized version of that.
Well, Iron Fist has had more than one coloration.
Yes.
Anyway, like his toy color was always like a tannish or brown.
Yeah, he was very beige in the G1 toy.
Yeah.
I was more thinking of the comic, and it just
Yeah.
seems like I think the yellow.
Which one are we getting? Because I'm not seeing this anywhere.
It's in the chat.
It's in our Discord.
Yeah, I don't have the bandwidth to run that and stream at the same time.
I like the colors on their Hasbro Pulse logo. It's very, very bright.
I have Discord on my phone.
Unlike the new packaging for the lines.
Yeah. Speaking of Discord, there's a bit of a conversation going on about who what the Power Ranger toys are marketed towards, and I'm actually in agreement with this guy who says that the toys are very much for kids at a sub $20 price point. The thing we got to remember is, as much as these they're hitting the nostalgia button with, hey, everything is from that first season of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers again, you've got to take into consideration that practically all of the old series of Power Rangers is now on YouTube for everybody to consume, even kids. So I think what they're doing here is marketing it towards this generation of kids that are watching YouTube, not necessarily us. So it swings and roundabouts on this one. I'm in full agreement that they should market the toys towards them. I have seen the collector lines. I'm not in the least bit interested in those. They don't look particularly great compared to the Lightning collection. But then we go right to the end with our Sword Pixel Dan's video of it, and you go to the old, like the really old Power Ranger toys where they had the emblems on their chests and they're like stupidly bulky. And for some reason, I appreciate those. I kind of dig them. I think that's the right shade of retro for me.
Oh, yeah, like Onyx Prime's Centaur mode.
Also, King Sphinx is there, and I'm always a big fan of King Sphinx.
I mean, that's how you know they're just like playing right along the licensor packet with that, because like ever since 1993, for some reason, King Sphinx has just always been there in the core lineup of evil space aliens.
Yeah,
despite only being in the one episode.
Yeah, because it wasn't just him as well. There was a couple of others as well. I think Eye Guy and Pudgy Pig. And literally, they used that to bolster the Rogues Gallery as, hey, these are the villains that the Power Rangers fight off against. Because you needed like a bigger itinerary of baddies to buy to go alongside the Power Rangers. Like, obviously, you had your Transformers and your Masters of the Universe and all that. And that's legitimately what they were for those early marketing days. You had them everywhere. You had King Sphinx and that on coloring books, on lunch boxes, and everything. And he just looked like a total badass, you know? So I've always been a fan of King Sphinx, even though, yeah, you're right. One episode and one episode only. But the design was awesome.
The original lineup of the 8-inch Evil Space Aliens toys was King Sphinx, Bones from like episode 2, and then you had Goldar, Squat, and Babu, and then there was like a sub wave that rotated Finster and the Putty Patroller in a little bit later on. Now that all assumes that you could find any of these at a store, which you couldn't. But like that was, hypothetically what they were producing and selling at the time for the
that
Space Alien
sure
lineup.
was a whole thing.
I was on a waiting list at Toys R Us when I was 8 years old to get a Dragon Zord, and let me tell you, that never happened.
I had a friend manage to wrangle me a Red Dragon Thunder Zord, but as an extremely cool 14 to 15-year-old, I promise you I only liked Power Rangers ironically.
Of course. Yeah, no, okay, so when the season 2 stuff hit, it was a lot easier to get the stuff. I was able to get the red, like I was just able to walk into a Kmart one day and buy the Red Dragon Thunder Zord. There was no fuss with that. It took a while, I think, for the Thunder Zord Assault team to kind of start hitting and getting the saturation, because like I remember I think I had the Red Dragon Zord in the summer, and it wasn't until almost winter that I started getting more of the Zord toys because they just weren't showing up that much. But like the initial waves of toys to go with season 1, like that stuff you just could not get.
I did have a friend in high school named Billy, and one Christmas we just all gave him Blue Ranger related paraphernalia.
I'm sure he loved that.
I feel like I could never get into Power Rangers because it felt like a Voltron ripoff, even though I know it came first. I could never get over that.
I love pointing that out to people.
I just thought the live action stuff was silly, and with age, I have found a greater appreciation for the craft that goes into Tokusatsu. But Power Rangers itself is still extremely silly. But, whereas I could be watching like Exo Squad, which was a lot more like mature.
Speaking of live action, 2 weeks ago I went to see Sailor Moon the Super live musical, and
I sent that link to a friend of mine that I work with, and she's trying to budget to go.
It's an awesome show. It's very well done. They are absolute professionals. It's incredible. It's the same cast you get from Japan, who've done it for like 7 years. It's so polished. It's unreal. Like a really, really good show.
I have to ask, is Luna stuffed and they just switch her eyes out?
No, so I don't know how much I can really say without fully spoiling it. Luna's there, but Luna's part of the rear projection. So she makes a couple of appearances and she's in silhouette. So, yeah. So she's there, but she's not there. But the cast, you will 100% believe, are the characters. And I was never a big Queen Beryl fan, but the actress playing her in the musical made me a Queen Beryl fan. She was so good.
Nice.
And I killed the conversation with Sailor Moon.
I was a very cool adult reading Death's Head 2. And
yes.
Well,
I was much too mature for Power Rangers. I needed to go read my Aliens Colonial Marines comics.
Yeah, right now I'm too cool for this live stream. I have WWE Elimination Chamber going on, so I'm turning my camera off.
I wondered why you turned your camera off, sir.
So I can turn my head. I'm still here, but my head is turned. To I don't think there's any more news. I don't think there's any more news. So
no,
I do have one other cat over here behind me, sleeping on
pictures of all the Hearts of Steel figures. I love that Starscream and really all four of them. The two trains.
Yeah, I'm disappointed that we did not see my dumb boys.
Yeah.
Or the dumbest boy and the smartest boy.
Oh, I know Swindle is in a later wave, but
yeah.
God, I would love to see that just purely because how good Vortex looks.
He looks fantastic.
Yeah, Swindle got bumped in favor of Vortex for unknown reasons. So Bromo reposted a photo of the box of the back of Onyx Prime's box. And so the robot has the centaur mode, the robot has the bipedal mode. The alt mode is shown as being this weird four-legged and two-armed thing, and I'm just not sure, okay, is that mistransformed on there, or did they just give up trying at that point?
I think that's how he showed up in IDW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was secretly Shockwave, and it was
spoilers.
Weird. Yeah, sorry. Hey,
what
that senator,
color scheme
that
was the IDW one?
conspicuously unnamed senator, that's Shockwave.
What was that, Eric?
Sorry, spoilers.
What color scheme is the IDW Onyx Prime? Did he look like Deathsaurus, or am I making that up, color-wise?
Wasn't he greenish?
Sure.
I thought that was the Loki guy.
That was the Loki
guy. I am very interested in seeing Liege Maximo finally because I enjoy both Loki, Trickster Gods in general, and also Generation 2. So he's the one that's meant for me. But
see, I'm holding out hope, but I was holding out hope for Alchemist too, and I was pretty disappointed by that one.
Maybe they'll I don't know. They need colors. I guess maybe the idea could be that they're such important deities don't need to be bright, exciting, fun colors, but they're toys. If you're
I think they'd look better if you switch the two of their colors. Not even add new ones. I mean, I would still like them to be brighter, but I still think Alchemist, wasn't he orangish or something in
Cyberverse?
Yeah, he did not look like movie Ironhide.
I was thinking
I've heard that he looks like British Hound
or World War II Bumblebee.
Yeah.
Yeah, the picture of Onyx Prime on the wiki from one of the Livio Ramondelli comics is more or less in this same gold and brown color scheme.
Well, I guess that's Livio Ramondelli though. Very nice guy, not the best storyteller.
I mean, Livio, by all counts, is a great human being, and I think when he's doing art of things that aren't robots, he's a lot better than how he is doing robots.
I think that he's great at covers, but he's not really got the storytelling side of things down so much.
Yeah.
Alchemist does have a mustache though, which is that's good. That's important. He needs to have a mustache.
And as Rob was pointing out earlier on Blue Sky, at least, a very, very angry torso.
Yes.
Ant on Blue Sky said that the Onyx Prime 6-legged mode is a griffin.
His torso looks like Angry Johnny 5.
It does.
Don, did you hear that? It's a griffin.
Yes.
Oh,
it's
a purple one.
Not the one I want. This is not the griffin I'm looking for.
Maybe we'll get there. Maybe they'll do a redeco in purple.
Don wants a griffin, I tell you. A giant griffin.
I also really like that episode for other reasons. Because it's got my dumb boys in it.
I mean, yes, that's the reason we all want a Rolls-Royce grill upgrade piece for an aerial.
I hope
for Slingshot.
Yeah,
I hope Slingshot comes with a shield, and then on the back it looks like the Rolls-Royce. You can just stick it on the front. Is that Good Night? I thought that was.
It's a GoBot.
I thought that was Good Night.
What? Where?
I'm holding it up on camera right now.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Yeah, Tux's immortal enemy. Good night.
Yes. There you go.
Speaking of GoBots, is Crasher getting a reissue?
Yeah. She is,
oh
Yay! I need that.
My Tux and my
Same.
Night Ranger are in a bin that's downstairs, so I can't just pull them out at random.
Tux should always have a place of honor on the shelf.
Bruticus.
Did I sell you a Tux, Dawn?
I don't have shelves yet.
Did you sell me one on card?
No, it wouldn't have been on card if I did.
Yeah, because I bought my original one in store, and then I bought one on card many years ago. But I've only got the two.
Okay, I think I found a bunch of like loose GoBots at this ice cream shop that sold old toys, and I like sold some of them to some people. I couldn't remember if you had gotten one or not.
An ice cream shop that sold old toys.
I love that idea.
Yeah, me too.
It was out at Purdue. It was pretty cool.
I'm in favor of this.
Is there a Super GoBots version of Tux?
No.
Okay.
Tragic.
Yeah.
I do have a cliff jumper that has 3D printed hands to be giving a very special gesture from the
I see.
Cybertron comics. I'm not sure which box he ended up in.
I've been slowly 3D printing parts to complete a G1 Ultra Magnus, and it's slow going, but it's fun.
What kind of 3D printer do you have?
I just have an Ender 3 V2 Neo.
Okay.
It's low end. I'm just
mine is super
figuring it
basic.
out.
I've thought about getting a resin one, but Cryotech.
Yeah.
Is that Cryotech?
I've been slowly digging out things
well, yeah.
as I think of them, and I was like, "Hey, it's Cryotech," and his little buddy Crow.
Yeah.
I also have a Crasher.
You sure do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
I
she's
have
a lady.
beat up one somewhere. I have now, thanks to me TV Tunes, I have now witnessed the entirety.
It
of
looks so
GoBots.
good. It looks so good.
Oh my god! What? It's like straight up 1080p. I am convinced that they are gearing up to do another run of the Warner Archive project with everything upscaled to 1080p.
Is that
Blu-ray.
where like you order a disc of whatever it is that they have?
Yeah. That's the basically print to order, but like Amazon will just order however many and have them in stock. And I suspect, because they have remastered everything from Hanna-Barbera, and so I really think that within the next, I'm gonna say by the end of the year we might see a Blu-ray release of GoBots.
That would be so weird.
Was GoBots? I mean, I know a lot of the older stuff was all on film, but was GoBots on film, or do you know if it was on?
It was.
It was. That's why I can upscale so good.
Okay, yeah.
It looks,
you know what doesn't look so good?
Beautiful.
Alf Tales.
Doesn't it? I haven't seen that one. I haven't caught. I know it's on.
Well, so this morning I wasn't watching Alf Tales. I was watching Alf. The Alf. So I think they have both. I was up at 5:30 watching Alf this morning. I couldn't sleep. So
there's
As
two
you do.
dubs of Ox Tales as well. I found out there's one that was done in the 80s, and then there's one that was done like in the 2010s.
What?
Yeah, and they're very different dubs.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's bizarre. Why would anybody even bother?
When
Licensing.
TV Tunes first started up and they put GoBots on the schedule, like I've just been, so I get it. I don't get it over the air. I get it through this app called Friendly TV.
Friendly TV. That's how I get it. Yeah.
And so they have a DVR function.
It's wonderful. I have so many things DVR'd.
So I just DVR it, but the first night that it aired, I was like, I'm gonna mark this. I'm gonna get up at 4 a.m. and drag my rear end over to the couch, and I'm gonna see how GoBots looks, because I've been like the Inhumanoids and Visionaries stuff I was talking about. I've been dealing with all this stuff where the only existing copies look terrible, or kid video, if you want to talk Yikes. Because the music rights, all that exists is what people recorded off TV at the time. So I am going to infiltrate Saban Studios and find the masters to Kid Video.
While you're there, look for the RID 2001.
Right.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
So I was ready, and real Ghostbusters showed before GoBots, and it looked DVD at best.
Yeah.
It did not look great. So I was not prepared for that establishing shot of Gobatron to just be crystal clear.
Yeah.
It looks so good, and it's just GoBots.
Mentioning friendly TV reminds me, so it's 7-11. So in 49 minutes, I'm going to have wrestling going and Svengoolie.
So I do get MeTV over the air in my new town.
I get it too.
And I found at the thrift store, I found one of those old digital converter boxes. So I can watch Svengoolie on my CRT.
Nice.
So I haven't watched Svengoolie on my CRT, but I have watched over the air recently on my CRT. Nice. And it was Three's Company or something. And it was so fun. I can't remember if it had black bars or not. I don't think it did. I think something was off about it.
Yeah, I mean the aspect ratio. I think on mine it ends up having a black frame all around because it has black bars, but then it also has black bars from when it's formatted to the sides down to 4:3.
Yeah.
I like that we've entered an era where it used to be that something was denoted as being old footage by being in black and white.
Yeah.
And now it's being in 4:3 aspect ratio. I say, having watched Late Night with the Devil not too long ago, and that's in 4:3 to show that it's old. But
my wife has been introducing our kid to I Love Lucy. And it's funny how he's getting as much as a 10-year-old can get, but he's enjoying it and hasn't complained about the black and white at all.
Does it still have the commercials in between them telling you how to smoke?
No, but they do smoke in the show.
Yeah,
because it's product placement from them selling the cigarettes.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember. At one point, TV Land here, they obtained the rights to air the reruns, and they didn't keep the cigarette advertising, but they otherwise restored the commercial bumpers that were made around the cigarette advertising. They would put the TV Land logo over the original cigarette advertising. It was a fairly elegant way to handle that while still restoring the original sense of what it was like to watch the episodes before the syndication edits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that they've been doing that. They've even with things like G.I. Joe and Transformers, we didn't get those bumpers over here when it first aired in the UK. So when Metrodome started releasing the episodes over here, I don't think we had them until... No, we did have them. But we didn't see any of those bumpers until they started coming out on DVD. So it was a new thing to us.
Mm-hmm.
So we never got the Transformers will return after these messages. All of those were edited out. So I love that stuff like that is retained now.
Oh, we got some Devastator. We got more of the Studio Series Sentinel Prime.
Yeah, they actually don't even have a color copy of Devastator at Toy Fair, surprisingly.
I just think it's so sad that GoBots looks better than Transformers.
Oh, yes.
And it's probably going to come out on Blu-ray before Transformers does. It's just sad. It's sad.
I was watching season 3 on the Hasbro channel, and I realized two things. One, they were using the wrong opening credits for Five Faces of Darkness because they were using the rest of the season 3 credits.
Yeah.
And also, for Reaper, they only did 2 new bumpers, the Scorponok and the Highbrow. If I knew that, I'd forgotten it. But that's the only 2 they kept showing for the entirety of Rebirth.
See, I got when I was in high. I mean, I like I was super into Transformers as a kid, but I consider my adult fandom to have started when I was like 13 or 14 and encountered G2 in a store and was like, oh, that's right. I used to really care about this. But Sci-Fi Channel showed the second season intro for both seasons 1 and 2.
I remember that.
So I'm still always a little like caught off guard by the first season opening.
And it's
The
sort of
second
weird because
season's really
people
good, though.
my age and Brian to a degree, we start talking about season 1 and we use the FHE titles, and people are like, "Which episode is that?" It's like,
you want an experience. When we first got Transformers over here in the mid '80s, they didn't show entire episodes, as in they take one episode and split it into little few minute segments of a morning like kids show.
Didn't they do that here with Bozo?
yes, I was going to say that they did that, and you had to watch, otherwise you got maybe 5 or 8 minutes on Bozo, and that was it.
Yeah, so that's exactly what we got. So a standard episode of Transformers. I don't think it ever went beyond season 1, but it would be split into 5 days, and it would be like 3 minutes a pop, 3 to 4 minutes. They tried that with Power Rangers back in the 90s. They started serializing it, and it just didn't work.
No.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
No. It's terrible.
But that was how we got Transformers, and the guy who hosted it was a guy called Timmy Mallet, and I dare you to Google Timmy Mallet.
I will
see
not.
that demonstration.
Oh no.
No, I'm good.
No wonder the British fandom is more gravitated towards the comic. 'Cause holy moly. I mean, I know it was...
No, we were gravitated towards the comic because it's all we had, Trickster. It's literally all we had. That and the storybooks with the cassette tapes.
What the Ladybird?
Yeah. That was literally our full experience. The other people, the people, if you were lucky enough to have a satellite dish and had Sky One, then maybe you'd have Transformers. But the rest of us poor schmucks, we'd have like Tempo VHS tapes that, if you're lucky, had 2 episodes. But most of them had 1. And then it wasn't always like one season. We didn't have full seasons until the late 90s, early 2000s when the DVDs came out. So it's like, so we had no choice but to basically, we all became comic book fans for the Transformers.
That explains a lot.
And you're better for
the
it.
Comic is object. Yeah, I mean, I knew from Graham, who is involved in the fandom, but he
his birthday
was
today.
getting. That's right. Happy birthday to him.
And also to take it back around to the start of this with Trickster and the comic panel behind them, like, if it wasn't for that Transformers comic, you wouldn't have this.
Yeah,
so...
that's true. So apparently, there's this whole thing that actually came up. So when I was moving, I left that with some friends at a comic shop just so nothing happened to it. But while it was not in my possession, a friend of mine brought to my attention a YouTube video by someone who was pointing out that actually Death's Head's first Transformers appearances were in 1987, and this comic literally is signed as 1988.
What?
Yeah.
So the whole story about how it was done to establish him as a Marvel's rights to him before he could appear in Transformers appears to have been possibly a fabrication after the fact.
I'm not shocked.
Which, I mean, I'm sure what it comes down to is no one cared that much.
Right.
Well, they did that to Circuit Breaker.
Yeah. Well, with her, I think, though, they did it correctly with her.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is that this is more like if they had him appear in Transformers and they were like, oh crap, needed to have appeared in a Marvel thing previously, so they made this Marvel thing for him to appear in, and were like, yeah, that totally happened before he was in Transformers.
Well,
when in fact it literally, and when they've reprinted High Noon Tex, they've in later reprintings they actually took out that 88.
my first exposure to the UK comic was in the US comic Man of Iron.
Yeah, of course. That's
and I was like, what? Because again, at that time, I didn't know what this was, and it took me until BotCon and the internet to finally understand what was going on, because the artwork didn't look anything like this. I didn't recognize any of the artists or the writers. So it's like that was my first introduction to British comics. British TV, I had a better experience because I was introduced to Doctor Who on PBS.
Never
and then
heard
I
of
found Are You Being Served in Danger Mouse.
Oh, Danger Mouse. Have you ever seen the remake of Danger Mouse?
I started watching it, and then I don't know. I just never went back and finished it. It wasn't bad.
Every so often, when they were doing a fun drive, my PBS station would pull out the old BBC production of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh, nice. I've got the TV series of that on Blu-ray. It's cool.
I need that. I need to get that because yeah, that was a whole thing. It was definitely a show that was made.
Yeah. Oh, also I forgot Blake 7. Blake 7 would come on my PBS station 11:30 at night before they signed off. And then the last thing they would show is Jack Horkheimer, Star Hustler.
I love Star Hustler.
Then they would sign off for the night. But yeah.
They still make that show.
Doctor Who and Blake 7 was my introduction to British TV.
Now they've started releasing Blake 7 on Blu-ray over here. And there's an option you can switch out the old crappy 70s effects, like the Doctor Who style old crappy effects, with brand new model effects. So even though the replacement effects, they're still models, and it looks so lovely.
Well, see, it's like
So Graham is someone who's liquid Velcro in the fandom. He's actually in the Ouija Discord chat. But he's American, but his father is English. So he was getting the UK comics as a kid from like a cousin. But he explained to the American fandom in the late 90s that yeah, the cartoon was only available on Sky TV over there, and it wasn't something that was readily available to your average kid. So that's why the UK fandom was the way it is. But yeah, when I started getting into fanzines, it was very much, when the only internet presence was Alt Toys Transformers, and I went into the school computer library and tried typing Alt Toys Transformers into the address bar.
It didn't work.
Realized I didn't actually know how the internet worked yet.
So of course, that's how I first learned about you and Ant. I'm certain I read about you guys before I ever met you, and Dawn for sure I read about before I ever met you. So, but yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, but people would talk about how there's the UK though got more comic, and it was like so much better than we got in America, and it was some of the people who did the end of the American stuff, and also in Japan they got all of these super edgy cartoons like Victory.
I remember reading about like Operation Combination and Battle Stars and stuff, and my mind was blown.
Yeah. It was so once, pre-internet, once you started getting inroads to the fandom, it was like Apocrypha. It was like these, mysterious texts that maybe you could read about.
Not knowing any better, I just thought it was like I was reading about Super Megatron and Star Convoy, and in my mind, that's how G1 ended. Like, like it turned out that way. Hey, so we've been going on for about 2.5 hours. Like most of the news there's news done. Let's start winding down. Let's get in plugs. And
we didn't see my boys.
I'm sorry. So, Taimi, why don't you tell folks how people can get a hold of you?
Oh wow! I don't really go by Timey anymore. If some of you noticed that on Discord, I go by Matty Boo. Which
Matty
is pretty
Boo.
much where
You've gone by Matty Boo for a long time.
I have, but I've officially switched it up now. So no more Timey Wimey. That guy's gone. He's out of here. So yeah, you've probably seen on my on the Discord there. I go by Matty Boo as well. You can pretty much find me via Matty Boo everywhere on Instagram. I'm Matty Boo Super. I don't really go on Instagram all that much, or Threads for that matter, but you can find me on Blue Sky under Matty Boo. So that's pretty much where I'll be posting for the most part. I am also. Oh, that's who Matty Boo is. You've just figured it out. Well done. It's I came back to the Discord yesterday. I went, hey, been a while. Crickets, absolute tumbleweeds. Like, who the hell are you? Oh, whatever, he's there. Let's carry on talking about these things called the Transformers. And it's like, oh, it's him. Anyway, but I actually do content creation again. I do a Twitch under Matty Boo Twitches, and you can also find me on a little place called Bunker Mania UK. We talk about wrestling, which is what I'm watching right now, and also Brian at the same time. And we also do a pop culture quiz at the end of every month. I'm having a lot of fun with that with my friends, and that's pretty much it, really. I'm all done. It was nice talking about Transformers and robots again.
It's great to have you on, and it's been 3 years since I've spoken with you, so I feel bad about that.
Oh, about 4 at least. I think the last time we all did this together was 2021.
It's been a while.
I just got a new 4K plasma screen.
And we just haven't done one since then, so it's not like.
Well, I mean, there hasn't been a normal Toy Fair really since then.
Yeah.
No,
I had just bought this house, and now Jen has just bought her house. So.
Yeah.
Next time someone buys a house, we'll do another one.
Yeah, Jen. I just bought a house, so.
I just bought a neon light. That's nice. Pretty much it for me.
So speaking of names people no longer use before, Tony Fitz, like how do people get a hold of you?
Oh boy, I don't think she's ever heard that name either. No. All right, so how do you get a hold of me? Mainly on Blue Sky, TFU info, all one word, .bsky.social. And you check out, of course, the podcast, Transformers University, and the other podcast, TFU News and Views, and the website, www.tfu.info. And I'm going to hop off here. And I think, Cassidy, what did you want to say? You want to say goodbye?
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Cool. Thanks for being on. Jen.
Hey. So I am Trickster everywhere. That is spelled with an X because that makes it more Cybertronian.
Or extreme.
And you've been using that consistently for 30 years, thereabouts?
Yeah, since my fanzine days. That was like my avatar OC at the time. And I've been trying to work up to doing some more fan fiction. I've been using that since the fanzine days. You can find me these days under that handle on Blue Sky, where I do my deep dive Transformers posting, shit posting usually, but also normal posting, because that's where the audience is. But I also run the retro.pizza Mastodon server. If you've been curious about Mastodon, feel free to come sign up on my server. It's chill. We block all the Nazi servers. And by Nazi servers, I mean literally stuff with names like skinheads.social.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
The world's a crappy place, people.
Yeah, it's but we keep that stuff out. So the vibes are good. Mastodon's a lot of fun. So that is retro.pizza. As far as Transformers fandom stuff, I have stayed active in the community. I have iaconunderground.net, where we do podcasts. We've got Stasis Pod, which started out as an episode by episode Beast Wars podcast. Yeah. And we are currently in season 1 of Rescue Bots Academy.
Nice.
And I have not decided whether I hate Hot Shot or Wedge more, but they're both the worst. They're just the worst. But that is Stasis Pod, the podcast. Also, David Henyon, Strange Four, and I have started doing Iacon Underground Radio, which is a news podcast again. It's sort of semi-monthly. So those are both at iaconunderground.net. Also, I believe later this year, James Roberts is putting out a fanzine history book.
Really?
And I contributed some stuff to that.
Seriously?
Oh, nice.
Yes.
That is super cool. So it's specifically
really cool.
specifically around Transformers, or does he get into other categories?
It's specifically 90s era Transformers fanzines.
Holy crap. I will have to buy that.
It's going to be amazing. Watch his socials for that. But
Okay.
yeah, that was super fun. That was sort of what kicked me back into fan fiction, because I remembered how much fun I had, even though it was terrible.
I actually bought, if I can find it laying around here, like one of those distraction-free writing devices. It's like an old word processor specifically so I could get back into fan fiction. I just haven't found the time to do it.
Go for it. Do it.
Yeah, cool. Jeremy.
Hi. So I am yakko.org with a 0 DOT spelled out.
And you've had you've been doing that for years as well.
I've had some form of Yakko since
the 90s.
Yeah. Blue Sky, I'm yakko.org with a period, because they let you use your domain name, which is awesome. You can find me on the Transmissions podcast every week. We do Toy Show on Wednesdays, and then Alt Mode, which we've been going through all the Energon Universe stuff and making Daryl suffer through all of the G.I. Joe and non-Transformers stuff, and it is a blast. I love making him suffer, but it's been fun going through all the Energon Universe stuff. And then I was the first guest on a new podcast called The Monitor Tapes, going through DC's Crisis on Infinite Earths, and my episode was all about the Flash, his death, and what it means and stuff, and it was just a ton of fun, so I wanted to give that a plug too.
Oh, that's cool.
It's at brickcrisis.com, and so it was just episode 2. I was the first guest, and check it out. They seem like they're having a lot of fun. So.
Do you still do the RPG podcast?
Yeah, Empire of Rust. I don't do it.
But it's a Transmissions production.
Yeah, Mike does it. It's on hiatus right now because he got other stuff going on, but they did the Empire of Rust. They go through their own system. It's like
trying to remember what it is.
It's like Star or something. I can't remember the name. But it's basically they go through their own original story set in the IDW universe. But for the month of February, I think they're just wrapping up now, is they went through the new who made it? The official Transformers RPG that just came out.
It's
Renegade
Games.
Yeah, Renegade Studio. Yeah, they went through one of those set like as an Empire of Rust side story, kind of playing through that system. So that's on the regular feed. It's all at transmissionspodcast.com. And regular Empire Rust is coming back in March.
You should do a Star Trek podcast too.
I don't watch enough Star Trek.
I need a Star Trek podcast to listen to, man. You need to do it.
Well, sorry. At this point, I've watched more Star Wars recently than Star Trek.
Okay, never mind.
But I don't know. Prodigy was awesome. I really loved Prodigy.
I know I've been gone a while. Did you guys make a Star Trek podcast?
Not in a year. It's been we stopped it. Yeah, it's been a while.
Everyone needs to do a Star Trek podcast.
I kind of want to do one.
We've done a couple episodes, like one-offs, usually ones that have Jeffrey Combs in them. And we did the episode of Voyager that has The Rock.
Could be a Jeffrey Combs podcast.
We're very tempted to do a Jeffrey Combs podcast. But we did the episode of Voyager that has The Rock in it at God. I think one of the ends of one of the between seasons things from Transformers Prime, because he was in that. That was and it also had Jeffrey Combs. He's also in that episode.
Yeah, he is.
Holy crap.
You better be wary of The Rock.
Transformers Prime connections.
So how many characters has Jeffrey Combs played in Star Trek?
9?
So many.
Not enough.
I mean, unless you count the Wayoons separately.
Yeah, I was thinking I could think of 4.
Because he's the Andromedan in
Andorian.
Star Trek Enterprise. Andorian, sorry, in Star Trek.
Andromedan. There are no Andromedans in Star Trek. It's too far away.
That's right.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember that.
Fran Bayoon Brunt, the alien who wants to do Kira or her hologram in like season 3. wrestling manager in Voyager, the 5. There's more, but I don't know if I counted Tran yet. That's at least 6.
But let's just not forget he was also Ratchet in Transformers
Yeah,
Prime.
Well, yes.
And the question
and
and Justice League Unlimited. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had a supporting role in the 4400 that nobody remembers.
I don't remember that.
I remember it.
Cool. Is Eric still around?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Who are you?
Who is this again?
Yeah, it's Eric. I was gonna say that I'm at Eric Crowbar on everything, but then I checked and I realized that's a lie. I guess that's just my Twitter. I don't know why I made.
Do you still do
everything different.
podcasts?
I haven't done one in a while. I've still been talking to everybody from my podcast and everything. So we've worked on a couple of things that we've shelved. So I'm not sure. We'll see. I'll probably come back at some point with something new, but for the moment, I'm just an observer.
I love having you in the Discord. So
I was gonna say, yeah, you can definitely find me in the RFC Discord.
Let's see who's. I'm just gonna go from.
I will say a fun side effect of maintaining the Trickster with an X handle for all these years is how many times on Twitter I get people adding me when they're actually referring to the band.
Is that a band?
Yes, it's like an old 80s hair metal band.
Somebody's just reminded me, so I need to ask. Eric, are you 30 yet?
No.
I am 25.
Yeah, he is not.
Jesus!
Okay.
He's definitely not 30.
That's still too old, but yes.
He's basically the age of RFC, so that's how
he's basically the age we need to start like
settling down,
giving these toys for. You know, he's young enough to appreciate them.
Yeah, he's about to start getting the reissues of his childhood.
Yes,
that's right.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that'll be weird.
I mean, you already did with like the Titan Cybertron Metroplex, didn't you?
Yeah,
it's not a reissue; it's an homage or a
But it's still it's remaking my old toys.
Yeah.
So Hot Shot, things like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's too young though for the Omega Prime. It's coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I still have been wanting one of those for years and years, but yeah, that's because of me being in the fandom.
Oh,
that's fair.
I don't know if you guys have heard of this. There's a guy on Etsy I found that makes reproduction rubber tires for the RID 2001 Prime.
Genius.
Oh, good.
That's awesome.
I need
smart.
those for.
I'll put the
I
link
need those
in
for
the chat.
Masterpiece Prime and for the alternators.
He
Because
He makes rubber tires for a
ferret.
bunch of figures.
Okay, since we've done plugs, this is when Diecast decides he's going to show up. So Diecast,
naturally,
like Diecast, what have you seen? We'll talk about this, then we'll do finished plugs, then we'll wrap up. What's the coolest stuff you've seen so far?
The coolest stuff I saw the Hot Wheels stuff. I'm here with Miguel too. So
hey, Miguel.
Hello. Hi, Miguel.
Hey, Miguel.
Hey, what's up, man?
You just
the
missed
Hot Wheels
Ant.
stuff was really good. Of course, we got to see Vortex.
Yeah, Vortex was pretty cool.
Yeah, he looks good. I got to see the Star Prime or whatever you want to call him. He's a decent size. He's a lot bigger than I expected, especially in vehicle mode. Like, it is a long vehicle.
And one of the things, this was Diecast asking Mark, he said that just because they're doing that smaller Titan scale now doesn't necessarily mean that those larger, like 2-ish foot tall ones are out of the question in the future. So if there's any sort of character that warrants that larger size, they'll consider it.
Nice. We also mentioned to Mark about about that new price point. It caused a lot of conversation on the podcast about what other figures they could do in that price point. And I said Overlord, and he was like, "Yeah, that's on the list." It sounded like
cool,
excellent.
Thunderclash.
We got the Wreckers stuff, so it makes sense that they would.
Oh yeah.
Overlord needs to be step on me size.
One of the things One of the things that Mark also said was a lot of the exclusives were out on display. That Carnivac has been fixed, so the breakage point on the Wolfwire mold has been corrected, and that I asked, so that means in the future, if you guys ever decide to re-release like Wolfwire or Weird Wolf, he'd be fixed. He's like, I'm gonna take that one back to the team. So hopefully in the future, they
Is that Dr. Lucas back there?
Yes. So Kilby, I said, hey.
Hey.
Brad. How are you, man?
Hey.
How's it going?
So well, you?
I'm not bad. Hey, thank you for following me on Blue Sky. I saw that today. Did you just create the account?
Yeah, you see it says 0. I have exactly 0 followers.
I'm following you.
Yeah, so we'll build a following today.
Yeah.
I got some rad videos actually.
Sweet.
I got Mark talking about he busted apart Superion, the air trailer, and then shows kind of how all the parts and pieces smack together to form Superion.
No Fireflight or Skydive yet, though, right?
Not
no
yet.
signs.
No.
We saw Vortex.
My boys. Vortex looks good. Vortex looks really good.
Also, Trickster,
Very solid.
for some reason, one of your sons is attacking Star Optimus, and I wanted to ask why. Like, what?
Probably because he's an idiot.
Okay.
Probably because he's my idiot son.
He's right there next to.
Those two are the ones who should not be allowed without an adult.
Yeah,
and I don't see Silverbolt in that display.
In the Dio, he's ganging. It was air raid, ganging up with Wasp to attack Star Optimus, and I was like, Trickster needs to explain.
That's a season 3 animation error when you had Blades with the Combaticons.
I just want to point out something real quick. When we first started doing these Toy Fair live streams, the idea of you like calling us with video from there was unimaginable. Like, this is really awesome. Like, between Miguel and Kevin and you're able to have like this conversation with us, like from there. That's pretty flippin' cool.
Yeah. And it was basically us asking questions to Mark. Mark was the only one there from the Transformers team. So it was just mostly us three asking him questions.
Yes, and Ben, he was there. Well, he was there a little bit earlier.
Ben!
Yeah.
Did you say hi to John Warden?
We didn't, because we went in after Toy Fair was closed and they escorted us to the Hasbro booth. So we didn't get to really see anything else, unfortunately. But Mark and I actually talked about Mask for a minute because, you know,
of course he's going to talk about it.
I was super excited about it. So
I mean, it's a licensed product.
When are we getting new Inhumanoids and Visionaries from loyal subjects?
Don, I didn't ask about that. Stop getting people to ask about that.
Also, as someone who has been involved in animal rescue organizations, it took me a moment to realize what you meant about Carnivac being fixed.
Not that. Thanks for breaking.
He is a dog.
Accessories not included.
Guys, I'll keep on listening. Thanks for doing what you do.
Thank you.
Loving it.
Thank you for doing what you've been doing for like forever.
Yeah.
You too, man. Always a pleasure. I'm happy to keep on here and listen to you guys. It's been great. So thank you.
Thank you.
See ya.
Is that Cheerwine diecast? Is that Cheerwine?
No, it's just a Coke that they handed out.
Okay.
I have finished
No
off
McDonald's?
my Cheerwine that I got.
No, lucky. Jealous. But no, I mean, it was a decent event. We got in a little bit late because there was another group in there. So we were a little rushed. We had, basically under an hour. But, basically there was a couple of us that had Mark to ourselves. So it was good. I'm trying to think what other questions we asked Mark. That I tried to get him to confirm Computron, but that went unsuccessful.
I need Computron next.
Trickster's other idiot children.
Yeah.
My second favorite. It's all their intellect is entirely just poor light speed and nose cone, just holding the entire team together.
Anything of note that I did catch, I was live tweeting, so check out tfuinfo.bsky.social and you can see all the coverage that I did.
I saw it. It was awesome.
Good job.
Nice.
Luckily, thanks to Miguel for meeting me here early because
you went to the World of Nintendo, right?
Yeah, the train that I was on stopped one stop before New York and was like, yeah, there's some down wires. You have to get off the train. So I had to take 2 more subway trains to get into New York. It took me about 3 hours round trip, or 3 hours to get into New York, which should have took an hour and a half. So, and now I'm hoping they fix the wires so I can go home.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now I got to take him back to Penn Station because otherwise he'd be lost.
Yeah, I get lost in New York very easy.
So that's why Miguel said he had a diecast story before he even got to the city.
Yeah. I was on the bus and he calls me and he's like, yeah, so they kicked us off the train and now I'm going to World Trade Center. And I'm like, that's not anywhere near where we need to be. So had to send him some info, and then thankfully Diecast was keeping me up to date while I was just sitting outside, not relatively close to actually where I work, which was strange. I was like, because I was outside and I was like, I don't have my badge, so I can't get into the office. But yeah, no, this was fun. It's always fun coming to these things and seeing Diecast and getting some sort of Diecast story. So
there's always a diecast story.
There is always a diecast story.
And here's the thing: if you hadn't been able to get with him and give him directions, diecast would have been a lost art.
I told you through that text message the other day you didn't know what you had agreed to.
Oh no, I knew what I'm a seasoned veteran at this point. I helped him in NYCC. We didn't talk about this, but I had to help him get back and everything. It was
we did specify. I did specify that Anthony used to, take me around. So now that's his job since he's here filling in for Anthony.
Yeah, it was great. We got pizza. We went to the Nintendo store before we came here. We had a whole little adventure.
But Miguel, does Diecast take off from you at top speed every chance he gets? Because that's the in-person Diecast experience I'm most familiar with, where he's Blur.
No,
like a toddler.
He behaves with me. I don't know what you're saying, but
well, he's afraid of getting lost in New York.
I guess. Yeah, I didn't want to lose him in New York.
No,
yeah.
you didn't. I guess. Yeah, I tend to think I'd be losing you, but
so yeah, a pretty good event. The Hot Wheels stuff looks cool. It is not final. I mean, they were fully painted. They're not going to be fully painted when they come out. So they're going to be more plastic colored than what we saw in the photos. And I think that's about it. The other one I was surprised, which Prime was out in the front that I was like, oh, that
was Alchemist.
Alchemist, and he's a very large deluxe. So I almost thought he was a Voyager until I saw the box.
Wow.
Well, I thought Vortex was a Voyager there for a second, just the way he looks in vehicle mode.
Yeah, no, they seem to be getting really good at using the mass on the figures to make them look substantial. They especially compared to I thought the Hearts of Steel looked a little more smaller for what they are.
Yeah.
Kind of like the way that in my mind I remember the Fall of Cybertron Shockwave looking, where it's it looks like a small toy versus a lot of the Age of the Prime stuff because I realized this is the first time I've seen any of it in person. A lot of it looks really good even stuff that is old molds that they're just redecoing. I don't know if it's just because we're kind of in a drought right now and it's just it's all new, but G2 Grimlock looked really cool in person.
The blue was really bright and vibrant on G2 Grimlock. Nice. And even Superion's photos bothered me. He's much better in person than he is in photos.
It's a masterpiece Ironhide kind of situation?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I just even the gaps in the legs on one of the aerial bots, it's still there. But it's not as horrible as some of the photos make it out to be. I did kind of mention, I was like, the gaps on the legs are kind of, but because Vortex has those same gaps in the legs. So, but yeah, that's all I can think of right now.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thanks. Hey, let's plug Miguel, Diecast. How do people get a hold of you guys?
Go ahead.
All right. Well, you can find me at logosminer.bsky.social, and you can find all the coverage that I did today at tfuinfo.bsky.social. On my personal, I haven't been posting much. I've been posting mostly vacation photos because I was in Puerto Rico for 2 weeks. So I was in the tropics, and then I came here, and it was so windy getting to the Javits.
Yeah.
I like at some point I was like, I'm gonna either be whisked away or I'm like just stop breathing. Just the way it was bad. But yeah, I might be posting more in the future. I've been thinking about some things, so just check me out there.
Do it.
And then you can follow me on Blue Sky and at Twitter. I posted everything today on Blue Sky because I figured that was the easiest way for Brian to see it.
Yeah, I won't see it otherwise.
At Diecast 2, and then maybe I'll do a Facebook dump of these photos.
Do it.
And put them on Reviews by Diecast.
Sure, do it.
So, all right, I'm gonna end the call and start walking back to the spring.
Cool.
Safe trip
Thanks,
home,
guys.
Diecast.
Don,
Yeah,
how do people get a hold of you?
your hard work.
You can get a hold of me on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EVR. You can also get a hold of me on Blue Sky at HMRC, the number 4 EVR.bluesky.social.
Cool. Rob?
robflails.bsky.social. I do Gundam gaming on YouTube at youtube.com/@flailthroughs.
Sweet. Chris?
Chris RTXV on Blue Sky. That's fine.
Melvar.
Melvar.bsky.social. 3 L's, 2 R's.
Very cool. Okay. Well, people watching live, thank you very much. We will see you later.
Take care, everybody.
Take care.
Later
in stream. Okay, sweet.
Yay.
Well, that lasted longer than I was expecting because of the diecast thing, but timing was good.